Alors bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue à ce live de Square Enix et de Magic. Alors nous allons voir en direct les nouvelles cartes de Final Fantasy. Alors c'est parti.
さったすべての方へ本当にありがとうございます。長い旅路を共に歩んできましたが、ついに本日さらなる情報を皆様にお届けいたします。このセットはマジックとファイナルファンタジーを愛し続け、お互いが真剣に向かい続けたからこそこの素晴らしい形にできたものだと思います。今回でファイナルファンタジーシリーズに初めて触れるマジックファンの皆様、このセットに登場するカードたちはファイナルファンタジーのストーリーやキャラクターらしさをしっかりと捉えた上でマジックのルールの中で再構築されています。たとえファイナルファンタジーを知らなくてもマジックでの冒険をお楽しみいただけるはずです。そしてマジックに初めて触れるというファイナルファンタジーファンの皆さん、プレイされたことがない方は RPG でパーティーを組むイメージをしてください。
Le 8. Ouais, je saute le 7. Je saute le 7 parce que pour moi, le 7 est overrated. C'était quand même plus de la nostalgie de voir Final Fantasy sur une nouvelle génération de consoles. Mais pour moi, le 7 ne vaut vraiment pas le 6. Le 4, c'est un Final Fantasy classique, très romantique, avec des chevaliers, des princesses, l'équipe des magiciens. Finalement, pour finir quelque part dans l'espace, il était juste trouvé dur, il fallait que je grind, il y a des bouts qui n'étaient pas toujours faciles. Oh, c'est parti, ça commence, je me taire.
It's time to meet the team. He's a principal game designer on Magic the Gathering. You might know him best as the host of Good Morning Magic. He's also been the lead designer on sets like Battle Bond, Mystery Booster, and most recently of all, oh yes, Final Fantasy. He is Gavin Verhey!
Oui, Gavin, avec sa musique par-dessus rouge.
Oh, thank you. Gavin, what's your favorite Final Fantasy?
Well, that would be Final Fantasy 9.
Ooh. Oh.
Some true fans in the house out here tonight.
The war starts here. Okay, our next panelist is known for his work as the product architect of the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, Universes Beyond Fallout, Universes Beyond Assassin's Creed, and Bloomburrow. He is also
Bloomburrow. Oh, you're
the executive producer of Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy. He is the one and only Zakiel Gordon. I actually think, there we go, we're good. What's your favorite Final Fantasy?
My favorite Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy X.
Le 10.
Did Final Fantasy X get a bigger shout out than Final Fantasy 9? Can I hear my 9 fans again? Can I hear my 9 fans? Can I hear my 10 fans? That's crazy, guys. That's crazy. Okay. Next up, he's a senior game designer of Magic the Gathering, probably best known for his work on Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. He is also responsible for mechanical frame and icon design across all sets. He is the lead game designer for Final Fantasy Commander decks. He is Daniel Holt.
Ouais, je parle pas beaucoup. J'ai pas beaucoup de place pour parler, là, mais je vais parler éventuellement quand je vais avoir de la place.
Here we go, the big question, everyone's waiting for it. What is your favorite Final Fantasy?
Like Zakiel, it is Final Fantasy X-2. That is 10,2.
Girls trip for life, baby. Right, here we go. He's principal narrative game designer for Universes Beyond creative team. He's worked on Fallout Commander decks, leads the upcoming Avatar The Last Airbender set, and was the lead narrative lead for Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy. It's Dylan Devaney.
Oh my gosh, look at everyone. Game is none other than Final Fantasy 4. Yeah, look at that!
Yes, le 4, le 4,
That's
le 4.
right.
Yes, le 4, motherfucker.
A lot of old
baby.
school connoisseurs
Yes,
just got very excited there. So, here we are at the start of our journey.
Enfin, quelqu'un qui a du goût.
Final Fantasy 1. the Magna Carta of video games, something that quite literally changed the landscape of gaming forever. Dylan, tell us the story.
When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. This is the beginning of the genre-defining game that started it all. Final Fantasy I features the prophesized Warriors of Light as they embark on this adventure across time and space. Right, as the player, you can select from 4 of 6 possible jobs to become your Warriors of Light. And your first deadly challenge as the Warriors of Light are to take on none other than Garland, Knight of Cornelia. And though Garland is keen to knock you down, the 4 Warriors of Light are triumphant, and they defeat their first adversary. But they incidentally create a paradoxical time loop that puts them in the deadly foes of none other than Chaos. Chaos! This game lays the foundation for many of the iconic elements we're going to see across all of the 16 mainline games. Things like prophecies and crystals, the job system, overworld exploration, random encounters, leveling up, high-stakes adventures, airships, you name it. This is where we firmly plant our foot and decide this is what Final Fantasy is going to become.
So, Gavin, jobs and classes, how did you do that?
Yeah, we knew from the very beginning we needed to have a way to show off the jobs of Final Fantasy. And we talked about it for a long time and came up with the idea of a brand new mechanic that looks a little like an older mechanic called the job select. So this shows up on equipment throughout the set. And when the equipment comes into play, you make a 1/1 hero token, and then you attach the equipment to it. So if you know Magic, you might recognize this as, say, Living Weapon or for Mirrodin. Living Weapon makes 0 0s, for Mirrodin makes 2 2s. There's a number between those two, which is 1 1. So we went for that here. Now, they all confer abilities, as you can see, that are really keen to what the class is doing. The White Mage Staff heals you, the Black Mage's Rod pings your opponent. But the other thing that's worth calling out in particular is they also confer the type that class or job has. So the White Mage's Staff turns you into a Cleric, the Black Mage's Rod turns you into a Wizard, and so on. Just has a little flavor nod happening right there. We grabbed all the job select cards in this set from Final Fantasy I and Final Fantasy XIV, which you might see some of later.
Oh, what a tease. Thank you, all 4 of you, but I do believe it is time to meet the last member of our panel. She is an art director on Magic the Gathering. She's worked on universes beyond sets such as Assassin's Creed, Doctor Who, and of course, Final Fantasy. Joining us on video, it's Stephanie Chung.
Hey PAX East, I'm so excited to share our next card with you. Long before I ever played my first game in the Final Fantasy series, I was already obsessed with their iconic character designs. It was influence on my own journey as an artist and deepened my love for video games. So I think you'll all agree that it wouldn't be Final Fantasy if we didn't include art from the legendary Yoshitaka Amano. And what better way to celebrate his influence and incredible talent than his original Cloud Sea Djinn. This incredible piece is featured in a showcase frame you've seen before. The transparent frame allows us to show off the art with minimal distractions from mechanics and text. You can really immerse yourself and truly appreciate the details of Amano's mark making and masterful washes of ink. This piece is a great example of his iconic style, especially with the incredible way he balances negative space. From the pale clouds contrasting the dark figure of the Djinn, to the flow of details from the Djinn's hand, cascading around the party and spilling into the clouds around them. The card also isn't anything to sneeze at. Nyxbloom Ancient is a flashy card that is a dream for any Stompy deck.
Thank you. We are going to be hearing from Stephanie throughout the show, and now we are underway. We are done with 1. Let's move on to Final Fantasy II. This is a more high fantasy, expanding and iterating on the ideas that were laid down in 1, without many radical changes. Akil, take us through this.
Yeah, absolutely. So Final Fantasy II is tonally very similar in creative tone. The main difference lies in a game mechanic called weapon skill, which is based on your proficiency as you yield weapons in battle and gain experience throughout the game. So it only makes sense for the main character of Final Fantasy II, Firion, to interact with equipment. So let's take a look. Firion is a 3-mana 3/3 that equipped creatures you control have haste, and whenever another equipment comes into the battlefield, you create a copy of that, and it has the ability to cost 2 less to equip. So we just showed you White Mage's Rod. If you have this in play and cast that, not only do you get another copy of that equipment, but you also get another 1/1 hero.
OK.
And then similarly, the next card on our Final Fantasy Through the Ages bonus sheet is SRAM. Red-white, of course, is a prolific archetype within Magic, all revolving around equipment. And we think this is a brand new way to be able to collect beautiful artwork by Yoshitaka Amano and play both of these copies of Firion alongside each other on the battlefield.
Thank you very much. And also, thank you for everyone here right now who's oohing and ahhing in exactly the right place. It really validates all their work. So thank you so much. I am eager to see more cards, and it's written down here. It says, I am as eager as a beaver. Gavin, explain yourself.
All right, so I want to give a big shout out to Yanni Skalnick.
OK, je m'excuse, là, je suis Canadien, là, mais yes, come in with Beaver. Oui, mesdames et messieurs, enfin, le Canada est représenté à Magic avec des fucking castors. Puis moi, je pense qu'on manquait leur coup dans Bloomborough. Il devrait y avoir beaucoup plus de castors dans le jeu. Je veux un tribal castor fonctionnel CEDH demain matin, OK? Est-ce clair? Enfin, merci Gavin, t'as exaucé une fière. Qu'est-ce que tu fais? OK, tu regardes la 3 cartes dans ta library. Tu peux relever un artefact, les créatures Hollande, c'est beau, tu peux le mettre dans ta main. Tu peux rester. OK, dans le fond, c'est juste carte avantage, c'est comme un Super Scribe. Moi, j'appelle ça un Super Scribe. Guy speak Beaver.
Right, there's a lot of epic fights and incredible monsters, and also sometimes just Guy speaks Beaver, you know, and that's the important part of this moment here on this card.
I like to think that we all speak Beaver. Moving swiftly on. We're moving on from 2 to, guess what, number 3. Final Fantasy 3. It's worth remembering that both 2 and 3 didn't release in the US until years later. But there is one thing that kind of remains true, which is the defining iconography of the crystals. Dylan, walk us through this.
Yeah, I'm really happy you brought up...
Pour le japonais, pour le Japon, pour l'Asie, FF3, c'est seulement FF3, puis pour nous autres, on l'a pas eu, c'est FF6 qui est égal au 3. Le 3, je m'en souviens plus, ça avec Bart? Je m'en souviens plus du 3, mais il me semble qu'il était quand même pas pire. Je vais remettre le son.
Elemental crystals across the land, just as the Golgan people prophesized. And so we were talking about how we were going to bring this element into Magic the Gathering, and we decided that, well, there's 4 elemental crystals, and there are the dark crystals in the malevolent world of darkness.
OK, fait que s'il y a pas token créature qui n'a pas de contrôleur, tu l'exiles, puis c'est bon, c'est 4. Oh shit, quand même. J'aime ça. J'aime vraiment ça. Fait que si ça dans un deck sacrifice, ça va être vraiment bon.
We get there, but you can see this rarity symbol here is the crystal. Gavin, you want to talk about the card?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as was mentioned earlier, yeah, well, there's the nice booster fun version. And by the way, what I was about to say, there's 5 crystals in the set, 1 for each color, and they all have a cool booster fun version like this. You can go collect.
Juste rapidement, je pense que j'ai trouvé une belle dynamique là, quand j'ai commenté les cartes, j'ai baissé le son puis j'ai monté. Sinon, la seule chose que je veux dire aussi, c'est que je sais pas encore si je vais acheter du Final Fantasy. Les prix ont monté vraiment vite, sans même qu'on voit les cartes. Puis je ne fais pas ça acheter sans voir les cartes. Des fois, tu es juste pogné par la hype du moment, puis les cartes ne valent pas vraiment ça. Donc, c'est ça, on va voir. Jusqu'à date, c'est intéressant, mais pas assez pour que je paye encore 900$ pour collecter un booster.
In. So this is a brand new land subtype. This is a town. You'll find towns all throughout the set in Final Fantasy. The many places and locations that you end up at. If you've played Ravnica before, it's kind of like Gates, where there are some cards that key into what towns do. It doesn't have any inherent meaning. And there's a lot of lands ranging from simple commons all the way up to rares, and maybe, just maybe, we might see a rare one later on. But here you go, a nice little Adventurers Inn. Of course, what would an inn do? But give you back a couple life. Take a nice rest. If you've got the money for it, get those 2 life.
So that's a lovely little taste of Final Fantasy 3. Let's move on to Final Fantasy 4. Dylan, you have been waiting for this moment.
Yes, I have. Thank you also. I really love that, and I needed that, so thank you. So yes, I would love to talk about my personal favorite Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy IV holds a very, very special place in my heart because I think it was the first time I really discovered what narrative game design was and the power of the medium when I was very, very young on my Super Nintendo. The journey that Cecil goes through, starting as a Dark Knight, wielding very wicked power in service to the potentially corrupt King of Baron. He goes on this journey of redemption to become a paladin of light. And we were talking about this story, and I was telling Gavin, I was like, listen, this story meant a lot to me because in the game, right, you have this amazing Dark Knight sprite, you go to Mount Ordeals, you claim your sword, and you become a paladin, and then you have to fight yourself in this 1v1 battle to...
Ok, je baisse le sens ce que j'ai commenté. On avait déjà vu la carte, me semble. Indescriptible, oui. Ça, c'est bon, on l'avait déjà vu. Tu tournes, de touch, quand il attaque indestructible. Quand c'est cette attaque, tu passes un match life. Puis si ton life est en bas de ta moitié, tu peux te transformer, devient ça. Mais j'aime beaucoup le 4. J'aurais tout à dire, mais j'adore le 4. C'était un vrai bon Final Fantasy. Je sais pas pourquoi les gens n'ont pas vraiment... Il y a beaucoup de gens qui n'ont pas vraiment aimé, mais bref. Saviez-vous qu'il y avait une suite pour Final Fantasy 4? Elle était seulement sur mobile au Japon ou en Asie, mais je sais pas si on fait la copie qu'on peut jouer maintenant sur les consoles et PC. Probablement, faudrait que je check. Mais j'ai beaucoup aimé ça. Tu joues dans le fond avec la fille dans la suite, avec la fille de Cécile et de la princesse qui ont une fille, puis tu la joues.
And then eventually it flips over to be a 4/4 lifelinker and start gaining that life right on back. But Cecil is not the only card.
I love everyone here so much.
Cecil is not the only card that we wanted to design for Final Fantasy IV, and a character that posed a lot of trouble for me was Kain. I kept trying to design Kain. I could not figure out how to do it. And then one day,
ok, c'est cool. Ce Dragoon, fait que ça représente Jump, c'est bien, j'aime ça.
Gavin, I don't want to swoop in, I don't want to step on your toes, but I really like this game, I really like this character, I have a pitch that I'm going to send you, and he was very nice enough to read it, he went over it, and he looked at me and he was like,
ok, c'est juste qu'on va dommage à un player, l'autre player prend possession de Kain. S'ils font, if t'es doux, je sais pas pourquoi c'est marqué if t'es doux parce qu'ils n'ont pas vraiment le choix. Peut-être si tu détruis en whatever, peu importe. S'ils font, tu piges le money card, les tables treasure token, puis tu fais le match live par rapport au combat que j'ai fait. Ok, fait que si je fais 3, je vais piger 3 cartes, je vais créer 3 tables treasure token, puis je perds 3 lives. Puis après, puis mon opponent, ou pas un opponent, c'est player, va avoir la carte.
Thank you very much.
His childhood favorite character as a card, that's pretty cool.
Puis je tiens à dire aussi Kain, c'est qu'à un moment donné, il switch puis il change de side. Fait que j'aime vraiment ce qu'ils ont fait avec le jump et tout, c'est vraiment du flavor pour ceux qui connaissent Final Fantasy IV.
That's nice. Not many, but good for you. As we head on to Final Fantasy V, obviously a very, very beloved game, I want us to take a step back and figure out, explain to us how you arrived at the overall shape of this set.
Yeah, so that's a monumental question and a very good one of how did we fit 16 Final Fantasy games into one set. There are a lot of characters, there's a lot of stories, there's a lot of games, magic, spells, items, abilities, lands, adventures, quests, mini-games, songs, and how do we put it all into one thing? We needed something early on to help make decisions. So if you can imagine the four of us in a room at the Wizards of the Coast office with a locked door, we made a conspiracy board on the wall, we opened up an Excel sheet, we got the whiteboard, and we wrote down every game, and we just said, okay, what do you remember about Final Fantasy I? Go way back in the archives, go deep in the tank. What do you remember loving about this game? And we did that for 2, 3, all the way up for every single game. And then when we were done with that, weeks later, we went to our fellow wizards in the office, and I asked everyone the same intense line of questioning. And then when we were done with that, weeks later, we went to Square Enix, and we talked to the game producers and the designers and the developers, and we were like, what were you very proud of with your game? What is very special about the title that you worked on? What is the thing that you would want everyone to see once again? And once we had all of that, we were able to start our process. So from there, we kind of made this internal tier system, tiers 1, 2, and 3, to help us make decisions. These weren't like, oh, these are the best and these are the worst. These are just, we need to make some decisions along the way. Some characters will be here, some characters won't be here. So tier 1, we decided was, these are the things that have to be here. These are the DNA of Final Fantasy. So Chocobos, Moogles, they absolutely have to be there. You expect to see them, so you're gonna see them. Tier 2 are the, hey, if you're a fan of a very specific game, you're going to recognize that. Maybe it's an iconic mini game, or an NPC that you really fell in love with, or a super boss you spend many hours losing against, like me. And then Tier 3 was the super duper crunchy deep cut. This is for the nerds. No way you spent time and money to get that in. Yes, we did. We had to do that. And so I really look forward to all of you, and I challenge all of you to go through and find the Tier 3s that we snuck in there across the set.
Okay then, Dylan.
Oh! Le premier summon. Excusez, je l'ai laissé parler parce que je trouvais que c'était quand même intéressant. Je me répète encore, mais là j'ai arrêté, je pense, là, mais quand c'est intéressant, je laisse parler. Ceux qui sont live, de toute façon. Ok, Gilgamesh, le premier summon, Master of Arm. Ok, quand Gilgamesh entre en jeu ou attaque, tu regardes dans tes 6 cartes on the top sur le dessus de ta librairie. Je m'input uniquement sur le jeu. Ok, directement sur le jeu. Tu mets le reste random en dessous, random comme tu veux. Ok, salut un petit peu vite, j'étais là. Mais de toute façon, je vais me reprendre un peu parce que je vais refaire un
program, one of my favorite things is we get to tailor each set based on the
Moi, je suis revenu pour Gilgamesh, c'est ça, puis juste pour finir la carte. Je vais la finir quand je vais faire le super cut.
Goes from 1 to 5, with 1 being kind of our intro level products and 5 being our more complex products like a Horizon set. Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy is a little bit higher on that dial, specifically because you all as video game players and specifically RPG fans already innately understand a lot of aspects of game development. We don't have to explain the idea of health or mana or damage or items or party configuration or the difference between a glass cannon versus a tank. So internally, we just really had the rule of cool to make sure that we made the best versions of each character, went through Magic's archives to bring back all of the most awesome mechanics that pay off all of your favorite moments. So the best example of that is in Bartz and Boko.
Oui!
And Bartz and Boko have a very interesting ability.
Oh shit! C'est double cool.
And that is Affinity for Birds. So Affinity is a long-time Magic mechanic that's been around for more than 20
C'est donc bien
this is a way in which we're able to build specific themed.
Ok, fait que c'est tellement vraiment cool. Mais en fait, c'est pas compliqué. C'est qu'Affinity for Bird, c'est facile. Tu tapes les oiseaux, ça diminue le mana que ça coûte ici en haut. Le Colorless, c'est pas les forêts. Après ça, quand il rentre en jeu, chaque autre oiseau, fait qu'en tant que neutre, tu crois, que je contrôle, font des dommages égaux à leur power to créature un opponent qui contrôle. Fait que c'est vraiment cool.
Have we got any bird fans in the audience?
Fait que c'est vraiment un swarm d'oiseaux, puis les oiseaux, c'est tellement band, c'est vraiment cool. Faut que tu mettes ça dans un deck band. C'est vraiment cute.
Yeah, that's right.
Final Fantasy V, si je me souviens bien, qui était axé sur les jobs, ça a beaucoup changé de job dans Final Fantasy V. Mais ça fait longtemps que j'ai joué au 5, je m'en souviens plus trop, mais je pense que c'est ça.
Daniel, Final Fantasy VI is the first of 4 games that have Commander decks. Is that correct?
That's true. We get to talk about Commander. This is the first of 4 Commander decks. Commander decks, if you're not familiar, are 100-card pre-constructed.
Final Fantasy VI, un des meilleurs fantasy. C'est pas le meilleur. Ben meilleur que le 7. Fuck le 7. Je me fais petit des roches, là. Mais. Ah, Tira. J'adore Tira.
Ruin. All your party members are scattered across the land, and you're going to gather them back up, form your party, get the gang back together, and go take down Kefka. And that's exactly what Terra here does. Her trance ability, when she attacks, she'll get an evasive so she can connect in, but she's also going to fill your graveyard with your party members and friends. Then when she connects, you're going to bring them back. You're going to get the party together, and you're going to go conquer Kefka.
Pretty cool. Do you want to show us a little bit how summons might work in this game?
Well, it wouldn't be Final Fantasy without summons. With Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy, we introduced it as Saga creatures. These are both creatures and sagas. So you'll get your creature out Summon Esper Valagramande has haste, so it'll attack right away. But as the turns pass, you'll tick down, get those abilities. The first one, you're going to be pulling resources from all graveyards, all those non-creature spells. And over time, you're going to get mana to cast those spells. And at the end of the chapter, it's going to go away in an epic conclusion.
Wow. So do we have any Terra fans in the audience? I like Herald of Hope, but here's the card. I think we've shown it. She looks pretty good, right? Here's Stephanie to tell us a little bit more.
Thanks, Ben. You may have noticed that there is something very special about these two paintings. In our Final Fantasy Artist series, we've invited 9 incredible artists from Square Enix to illustrate any character from the Final Fantasy franchise.
Juste pour les cartes. Elle rentre en jeu, tu mets 5 cartes. Ok, puis tu mets ces enchantements-là que tu as mis dans ta main, ok. Ça transforme en ça, crit avec l'enchaînement du comptoir, gain ace, et ça serait Produit, low counter on it, oh shit. C'est vraiment bon. Anneau de Gentry, enchantement, ok, c'est bon. Fait que faut faire attention à les créatures puis les dupes, tout ça. La scène, c'est vraiment cool. Ok, si tu as vraiment ça, fait que t'as tel mana. Tu retournes en Battlefield comme ça. C'est vraiment cool. Ok. C'est nice. Pardon.
They were not limited to the series that they worked on, but invited to illustrate any character, especially ones that they have always wanted to paint. So not only are these painted by the one and only Yoshitaka Amano, but these are brand new paintings of Terra, never before seen until this Universes Beyond partnership. And without further ado, here's a special message from Amano himself.
ファイナルファンタジーはね、やっぱりずっとやってきてるし。あ、こっちはもうね、なるべく非常識の絵を描こうっていうことで、とらわれないで描きました。これはもう状況がもういっちゃってるんですよね。炎の中に入ってるっていうんですかね。ケフカはもうめちゃくちゃですね。狂った色、いろんな色が入った方がいいんじゃないかなっていうイメージみたいなぼやっとしたものがあって、それを形にしていく、その行為が楽しいというか、まずその通常のティナは剣持ってて空挺がいっぱいいてっていうファイナルファンタジーの世界をちょっともう一回表現してみる。こっちの変身後の方は最初にキャラクター作った時以外はあんまり描いてないんですよね。あの時はもう少しこう筆掘りもされてましたから、これはちょっとリアルにしたんですけども。おー、かっこいいですね。素晴らしいです。素晴らしいですね。小さいんですけども、すごいこう重みがあるというんですかね。マジックとファイナルファンタジーのコラボレーション、皆さん楽しんでください。
On va enjoyer. On va enjoyer. C'est plus peuvent baisser un peu, on va enjoyer, mais ils baisseront pas, ils vont juste monter.
So if we're going to get art from Amano to put on our cards, we had better make some pretty awesome magic cards. And that's what you're seeing here with Terra. So on her front face, she comes down. She finds you an enchantment, one of those saga creatures, perhaps, something that she can summon. When it's time, you can flip her over to her other side, literally turn the card over to unlock Esper Terra. She copies an enchantment that you have and does something we've never done in Magic before, which lets you kind of set it on the chapter counter you want, get the abilities you want, and then it goes away. After her 4 chapters are done, she adds 10 mana to your pool, which for all you astute Magic fans in the audience, you might notice that she is green and red, and she starts adding white, blue, and black, which is, of course, the Esper color combination in Magic the Gathering. She flips back over to her front side, and then you can do it all over again. Plus, get that Enter's ability to grab another enchantment. A really powerful Magic card, and really worthy of this incredible artwork.
All right. Dylan, Please, would you bring us up to speed on the narrative of Final Fantasy VI?
So it sounds like we have a lot of Final Fantasy VI fans here in the audience today, but if you haven't played this wonderful game yet, I'm just going to spin you a picture so we can all understand what we're talking about here. So Final Fantasy VI is an epic told in 2 parts. The first half of the story revolves around the conflict between the Gestalian Empire and the Returners Resistance movement. It takes on a very classic shape of a Final Fantasy story, right? We're introduced to our many beloved cast of characters like Terra and Celeste, Locke, and eventually we see them all come together, rally to battle against Kefka, one of video games' most iconic villains of all time. But of course, as the chosen heroes to save the world from the villain of this game, you would expect that when you go up against Kefka, you are victorious. But perhaps, as Daniel alluded previously, something special about Final Fantasy VI is halfway through the game, you lose. And so, the second part of this game is about the world of Ruin, where Kefka has become the ruler of all. He has become all-powerful and is the master of all magic. So, your party is scattered to the winds. Eventually, Celeste, Terra come back together. You rally everyone to take on Kefka one more time and eventually conquer the ruler of Ruin.
Ok, fait que je juste pause. Ok, donc Kefka, quand il y a un tour attaque, tout le monde discarde une carte, puis après ça tu peux jouer une carte. For each card of type, fait que vite. Après ça, tu peux jouer une carte. Fait que si quelqu'un a discardé un instant, l'autre un sorcery, l'autre un enchantement, ben tu vas en piger 3 parce que c'est 3 types de cartes différentes. Pour 8, tout le monde sacrifie un permanent de son choix, puis tu le transformes, il devient ceci. Puis whenever an opponent rolls live during your turn, you draw that money card. Oh my god. C'est une powerbomb qui existe. Je sais pas, moi, pour X raison, tu fais un exsanguinate de, je sais pas, moi, de 4. Fait que tout le monde perd 12, fait que tu gagnes 12, puis après, tu pigerais 12 cartes. Ouais, c'est fort. C'est intéressant. Il coûte juste 5, mais ça coûte 8. Fait que quand même, il faut que tu aies du mana. Il y a quoi à faire avec, mais Kefka, pas besoin d'en parler. C'est Kefka.
A blue, black, and red legend. When Kefka enters, you play a little mini-game. Each player is going to discard some cards, and then you get to draw some cards back up. Well-fitting of kind of the mini-game aspect that Kefka has. But when it is time to go to the world of Ruin, you can pay 8 mana. Each opponent sacrifices a permanent, the world gets a little ruined, and then you flip Kefka over. 5/7, flying. It can attack right away the turn you flip it over, of course, as long as it's been played for a turn. You hit your opponent, you draw 5 more cards, and then as long as Kefka's in play, whenever an opponent loses life, you draw that many cards. It is very hard to come back from getting hit by Kefka, just as it should be.
Okay, there you have it. Final Fantasies 1 through 6. We are halfway through our show, and we are going to give our incredible panelists a little break for a few minutes. So please give it up for our panelists. Thank you so much. Not you, Gavin. You stay here, you naughty boy. Right, friends. We're going to shake things up. We're going to play a little game I've been contractually obliged to call Summon the Numbers. Are you ready?
Okay, un jeu.
Summon the Numbers is a game that's going to involve some guests. It's also going to involve you, and it's going to involve a lot of chaos. This has been a very slick show so far. This bit is going to destroy all of that.
You guys like chaos? The people have spoken, Ben.
One more time. Okay, I can't do this alone. I need some special guests. Let's get them out here. 2 teams, 4 special guests. The first guest is starting with our first team, a multiple championship title winner, a massive fan following, widely recognized catchphrase, Bay Bay. This legendary professional wrestler from All Elite Wrestling has proven himself to be a generational entertainer. He's also a passionate gamer who's built a significant following with his gaming content. Please welcome Adam Cole.
Okay. Honnêtement, Je suis capable d'avancer un peu, j'en ai rien à foutre du jeu. Moi, c'est les cartes qui m'intéressent, puis avoir des invités. Ah, ben quoi que...
Who I wanted to team up with, they assumed, and don't take this the wrong way, they thought I would want to team with you, Adam, but I've got a winning partner here, so... Karen.
We're going to make you eat those words later. Trust me. Trust me. We're winning this thing. We're winning this thing, baby. Let's go.
That's right. I'm watching you.
Who better to get to deal with numbers than two wrestlers? Good idea, Wizards. Great idea. Okay, that's not...
Hey, I take offense to that. I'm sorry.
You lose. Congratulations to this team. You are in my house now, Kenny.
Yes, sir.
Right. That's not all. These teams need your help. Please, would you like to go out the back? The two people who are going down here.
Yes.
Those who have been instructed previously. Karen, please. We'll see you in a second. Adam. Oh, that's so mysterious. Where are they going, I hear you say?
Let's do it.
Woo!
All right, so should we discuss strategy?
Kenny.
Kenny, where the hell are you going?
Oh,
We gotta keep it secret.
No. You have to stay. You have to stay out there.
What the hell is going on?
We got this.
We have
this.
such a short time for this game.
No,
You're wasting so much of it.
I'm taking the piss. I'm sorry.
I respect you so much, but you are ruining this for me. Honestly, no, Kenny, I've told everyone that I'm doing this, and I need to look professional.
It's even worse when I wrestle, trust me.
Okay, well, I respect you, but just not now.
You got it.
Okay, well, it's going so well, Ben. It's going so well.
Chaos, am I right?
We love chaos.
Okay, we need your help. Okay, everyone here is Team Jace.
Blue mages.
Everyone here is Team Chandra.
Wow.
Everyone in the middle is Switzerland.
Okay.
No, divide yourself. I can't be bothered to choose. Somewhere down there, choose what you want. I don't know. This room isn't divided in the way that we hoped for this particular game. Right. Let's play this sweet, sweet game.
Il y a de l'amertume un peu dans la
Of
voix,
course, we're going to need
monsieur.
some, maybe cute companions or something like that.
Yes, we
hang
are.
out with our team members.
Okay.
Maybe they'd like to meet them.
Yes, do you want to see them?
Do you like something cute? Something adorable?
You want to see some cute things on the screen?
I mean, come on.
Look at those guys. Come on.
Come on.
Something's better for Team Jace and Team Chandra,
They're so cute. It's so cute. I've lost all of my cards and I have no idea what's going, so we are literally going at this blind, everyone.
Our little Jason Chandra Chocobo are brand new, worked in collaboration with Square Enix.
Sérieusement, l'animateur,
They'll be on Magic Gathering Arena as well. So pretty cool.
That is so cute, aren't they? Offensively cute. Okay, some of the numbers is a very simple game now that I've found the cards and I can explain it myself. Each question is about Magic and Final Fantasy. What a surprise, every answer is a number. But we want you to help our teams. So joining Karen and Adam to make your guesses, if you'd like to take part, please, with some decorum, line up either side behind our guests.
Ooh.
Okay?
Come on, Team Jace.
Good work,
Don't
Brave
be
Soul.
shy.
Good work.
This is the correct side to be on.
Once
Everyone
I
this
ask
way.
this question, thank you. Once I ask this, I will ask you a question. Three of you will give your answers to our lovely teams down here.
Okay.
You will then lock in your answers, write them down here, and then we will come to the numbers master himself, who will give us the correct answer.
That's right. They got an English major to do the numbers, so I'm doing what I can here, okay?
As you can see, this has already gone completely off the rails, but there is one rule. And the one rule, please, is no phones, no way. Get your filthy hands off the internet, you dirty, dirty people. Okay, here is our first question. And I'm going to go to this team over here.
Team Jace?
Team Jace.
Wait, cheer for Team Jace.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear.
All right, a lot of excited people.
Here we go.
Don't encourage them. Don't encourage
Team Chandra, you want to make some noise?
Let's go, guys!
Team Jace, you want to make some noise? Okay, question one. Question one. You'll get to answer soon, don't worry.
Thank you,
Get your guesses in. Black mages have been a recurring element in Final Fantasy ever since the very first game. But in Magic the Gathering, how many black cards have the word mage in their name?
Oh my gosh.
We're looking for numbers.
So, would you like to come forward and make your guesses, please, Team Jace?
So, your name, where you're from, and then what your answer is.
C'est quoi ces questions-là?
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm from Washington, D.C., and I'm going to go with, let's go with like 20.
20. Okay.
That feels safe. I like that.
Thank you so much. What's the next one? What's your guess?
Name, where you're from, what your answer is?
Patrick from Massachusetts. I'm going to say 11.
Lovely.
11. Beautiful. And name, where you're from. Nice T-shirt. What your answer is?
My name is Phil. I'm from Portland, Maine. I think it's about 30.
Great. Okay, you're going to lock one of those answers in.
Ooh.
Do it. And whilst you're doing that, team over here, Karen, let's go.
All right. Come on up. Okay. What is your name and where are you from?
I'm Ryan from Massachusetts.
Awesome. Give it up for Ryan.
Woo! Go, Ryan, go.
Thank you.
Okay, what's your guess?
I have no idea, but I'm just going to go with 25.
All right, that's safe. We like that.
That's
25.
it.
All right. You can stay up here.
You guys are cooked. I'm
Maybe just
liking
make
this
room for-
already.
Okay, next one. Let's go.
All right. What is your name and where are you from?
My name is David. I'm from Massachusetts. I'm going to guess 16.
Lovely. Great number. I love that number.
Love that.
Oh, thank you. Anyone else? If you guys just keep saying 16, you automatically win. Okay. Next one.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What is your name and where are you from?
William from New York City.
Yeah.
I am.
I dig
I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to say 45.
Whoa.
Now we're talking.
Okay, guys, I want you to lock one of those
Okay.
answers in. Do you remember any of those numbers, Kenny?
Oh, yeah. I know exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
Do you remember those numbers, Talia?
Yeah.
You're already in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Okay, great. I would
am
love us
in.
to reveal your answers.
Now. Or do
Yeah,
I
now,
wait for
please.
Kenny?
Yeah, do it now if you want.
Okay,
you know what?
she
No,
was
do
still
it after
writing.
the
I don't
show.
want him to
Do it
see my-
after the show.
I went with 20.
J'aime pas l'animateur, il est vraiment senti puis grand désagréable en ce moment.
45. Let's go.
Okay, here we
Go big or go home.
All right, well, the correct answer, everybody, is 43.
Oh, shit.
Team Chandra.
Let's go. That was awesome.
Don't worry.
That was awesome, guys.
We're on a tight schedule here, and all people really want to do is
Good
see
one,
cards,
Kenny.
and they're caught in a chaotic game right now. But that's okay. We're going. Question 2. It's really simple. Let's make this a little bit quicker.
I know
you can
these
say
guys.
your name doubly fast, where you're from even faster, and then the number as if we can't almost hear it. It's so fast.
Okay.
Number 2. Let's go. There are presently 16. That's right. Mainline games in the
Excusez-moi,
Final
là, mais je
Fantasy
vais faire pause
RPG.
30 secondes. Mais le gars, là, en ce moment, il est fucking désagréable. Là. Sérieusement. Puis un Gavin est comme... qu'est-ce que je fais ici? Je sais pas c'est qui, mais j'espère que c'est la dernière fois qu'il est là, parce que sérieusement, comme c'est pas parce que ça va pas comme tu veux que tu es obligé d'être une pute avec ça. C'est plate pour Gavin, c'est plate pour les invités qui sont là, c'est plate pour les gens dans la salle. Écoute, t'es pas dans une salle de cours, là, t'es dans un show, puis il y a des choses qui peuvent mal tourner, t'es en direct. Ça fait partie de la business. Puis, comme a dit un jour un grand prophète qui s'appelle Gordon Ramsay, c'est pas comment tu tombes, mais c'est comment tu te relèves. Puis en ce moment, je te donne un gros 0 sur 10. C'est plate, c'est salty pour rien.
G-Series. How many creatures in Magic the Gathering have a combined power and toughness of 16?
Oh,
okay,
shit.
name, where you're from, and what your answer is?
Richard from Massachusetts, and I'm going to say 27.
Excusez-moi aussi, les questions, comme ça fait genre, je joue à Magic depuis whatever, puis depuis forever, puis c'est quoi ces questions-là, genre? C'est quoi ces questions-là? Comme, sors une question genre, je sais pas moi, c'est quoi le meilleur mage dans le temps dans le set de Ravnica? Ben, tu peux dire soit Jace ou soit Snapcaster, mais whatever. Même Jace, un Planeswalker, c'est pas une carte, whatever, peu importe. C'est quoi ces questions-là, genre? Comment tu veux qu'on le sache? En tout cas, moi, tant qu'à faire des jeux de même, J'aurais vraiment juste fait des présentations de cartes, j'aurais passé à d'autres choses. C'est vraiment ordinaire. Ah, il y a le Pokéball ici. Shout-out à la Pokéball. Pour le Cario qui est caché ici.
27. Name, where you're from, what your answer is?
Hey, I'm Matthew from Lowell, Massachusetts, and I'm going to say 15.
Name, where you're from, what your answer is?
Craig, Groveland, Massachusetts, and 41.
Good guesses.
Wonderful. Here we go.
Talia, feeling good about this.
Congratulations. Get those locked in. Team over here.
Thank you.
We need some low
Thank you,
numbers,
Ben.
guys.
Come
Give me
on
some
up.
low numbers.
Okay. What is your name and where are you from?
Jeff from Boston, and I'm going to go 1.
You know it, Jeff.
Oh.
You know it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You know it.
Come on up. Oh, lovely shirt. I love the cats.
You too.
Okay. Are you
I like them too.
Yes. I'm Mason. I'm from Seattle, Washington.
I like them too, buddy.
Hey,
there we go.
All right. I'm going to go for 7.
Okay.
Oh.
Lucky number 7. Lucky number 7.
Guys, he likes cats. What can I say?
We love
What can I say?
Give it up for the cats.
Ok,
All right,
encore
it's done. It's done.
Hi,
7.
nice to meet
7's
you.
our guess.
Hi, come on up. Okay.
Hi, my name's TJ Gamebox. I'm from
All right,
Massachusetts.
where are you?
Massachusetts.
Where are you?
Massachusetts!
All right, go for it, buddy.
I'm going to go 22.
Ooh.
22.
Okay, guys, got to lock
Thank you
those
so
in.
much.
Remember, when you come up here, you're not representing yourself. You're representing thousands of people. Please genuinely feel the pressure. Everyone cares. Okay? Great. Let's lock the answers in. Let's see what you've gone for. Team Jace.
I went with the lowest, 15. Hey!
It's great to know that your team have no confidence in you.
No confidence!
Okay, let's go.
All
Team
right, I'll just
Chandra.
take the points now. It's 7. The number is low. The number is low. I know it is.
Yep.
Both great numbers, both great Final Fantasy games, but the correct answer is 85. 85.
Oh,
Let's give you a point for Team
Ben oui, mais c'est ça, comment tu veux que tu devines ça?
1 and 1.
Il y a aucune
1 and 1,
façon.
everybody.
Are you sure?
Ah, oui, t-shirt.
Yes, I'm sure, I'm afraid.
Can we check that again?
Nope.
Okay. Maybe next time.
I make the cards, buddy. My rules.
Okay,
All
yeah.
right.
Maybe next time. Yeah.
Much like the much beloved Final Fantasy series, this is truly gripping stuff. Here we go. Question number 3. Launched in 1993, Magic the Gathering will be honoring 32 years of trading card gaming with its collaboration with Final Fantasy. In December of 2025, Final Fantasy will have been a gaming franchise for how many years?
Ooh,
Okay.
Number for years. Interesting.
Name, where you're from, and what your answer is, if you want to come up here.
You guys better get this.
It was how many years, right? My name's Alan. I'm from Massachusetts, and I believe it should be around 28.
Okay.
28.
28.
Name, where you're from, what your answer is?
Je vais l'avancer dans le temps parce que c'est vraiment plate.
I'm
sérieusement.
Issa. I'm
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Okay.
Please reveal your answer.
All right, we went with 40.
Good answer. Good answer.
Good answer.
Dans le fond, c'est pas tant que j'avance dans le temps, c'est que je me pose puis le stream continue. Fait que j'avance quelques secondes ici et là, mais le mini-jeu est pas intéressant. L'animateur est une grosse marde, puis c'est poche.
Why I did it!
A true
And I'll do it
genius.
again!
A true genius at work. That's now 2 points for Chandra, 1 point for Jace. Coming down to the wire
got
here.
this.
Here we go.
We
Let's
can
go
come
on to
back. We
question
can come
number
back.
4. Chocobos are the beloved bird character of Final Fantasy, but Magic has its fair share of birds as well. How many bird creatures have been printed in Magic?
What the
Okay,
fuck?
name, where you're from, what your answer is?
What the
Hi, everybody.
fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god, qui a fait ces questions-là?
Nick, I'm from Massachusetts.
Yes.
And my answer is 22.
22. Nice. All right, name, where you're from, what your answer is?
My name's Ryan. I'm from New Jersey, and I'm going to guess 69.
69. There we go.
Nice.
Don't cheer that. Do not cheer
Name, where you're
that.
from, what your answer
No,
is?
no, 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 no.
I'm May from Montreal. I like going extra 155.
Whoa.
155.
Oh, Montréal represent.
Good guess.
Okay. Wonderful. Lock one of those answers in, and we'll move over here to Team Chandra. Let's go, Karen.
All right. Name, where you're from, and your guess?
Gotcha. My name's Noah. I'm from Connecticut. I'm going to go with 123.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Good answer.
yeah.
Good answer.
What's your name?
I'm liking it.
My name's Joel. I'm from Massachusetts, and my guess is 132.
132. Come on up. Okay. Name, where you're from, and the number?
Jim, Arlington, Massachusetts, 170.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, everyone, let's reveal our numbers, please.
Okay, I went with 55, but I don't know. I feel like it might be more.
Yeah. Like, clearly.
So you've gone with 170. Please, Gavin, reveal the number.
Well, you know, I'm a bird fan. You got Avon, you got Bloomberg birds, you got all these other birds, and the right answer is 403. Which puts the point back on
There's a
Team
lot of birds.
Chandra.
A
Yeah.
lot of birds.
Listen, I do want to take a moment because actually, Adam, this is embarrassing for you.
I don't know what to say.
Is there anything you want to say to your team to kind of like perk them up, maybe get their ideas going?
This is all being done on purpose because we're about to have comeback of the century. Mark my words.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It is the first of 4 points, is it not?
It is the first of four. So you're not doing great. You are on life support. I do respect you more than Kenny, but this is truly bad.
Hey.
I don't, Kenny. I like you way more. Okay, let's go. Question number 5. One class in Final Fantasy is the White Mage. In Magic the Gathering, a White Mage is a player who casts spells using white mana. How many cards, wow, this is interesting, how many cards that include white mana have been printed in Magic?
What the fuck, encore?
Can't be that many. Can't be that many, right?
Stupid. Oh my.
Okay,
Name,
where you're from, and what's your answer.
I'm just going to give you a ballpark. Go high.
Qui a envoyé mana dessus, fait que c'est même du multicolor, c'est vraiment stupide. Sérieusement, là, ça m'en tabarnak. Puis c'est même plus en tabarnak encore, parce que je peux pas le sauter. Parce que c'est une insulte à notre intelligence, je trouve. Puis c'est épais, parce que t'as pas moyen de deviner c'est quoi. Tu peux pas le savoir, tu peux juste comme guesser un gros chiffre, puis peut-être t'es chanceux, tu vas l'avoir. Fait que je vais dire 2500 juste pour le... Puis non, parce qu'à chaque fois qu'il y a un set qui sort, t'as 300 cartes. Oh my god, 6000.
Hi, I'm Dylan. I'm from Rhode Island, and I don't know. Let's go with 5,307.
Okay.
All
right.
Where are you from?
Do you want that in that order?
Yes.
My name is Ian. The guess is 10,850, and I'm from Massachusetts.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, come on up. What's your name? Where are you from? And what's your guess?
Give me something to work with.
My name is Tommy. I'm from New Hampshire, and I'm going to go ahead and throw out 1,222.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Here we go. Lock in your answers, please.
This could be for the game.
I feel like this could be for the game.
If Chandra gets a point here, they will win.
What?
Lot riding on this.
Come back of the century.
Not this
Come
one?
back of the century. Just wait.
We need this.
Just wait.
Right. The great thing is you definitely remember all of those high numbers, right?
I wrote them down.
Totally. Excellent. So, reveal your answers.
Okay, we went with 5,307.
Kenny, this could be for the win. Let's go.
Yeah.
That feels good.
10,850. The number is going to be astronomical.
Well, the correct answer. I have everyone listening now. Awesome. The correct answer is 6,143. Point over for Team Jace. Jace on the board. Jace on the board.
Come back of the century. Here it is.
Push.
Yeah.
All right, okay, everyone, we're going to have to speed through this. You've got this. It's really, really close. You can see the numbers right now. It's 3-2. It's getting closer than we thought. Question 6. The Buster Sword is one of the most well-known weapons in Final Fantasy. In Magic, how many cards have either the word Buster or the word Sword in their card name?
Oh, my God.
Okay. All right, so name, where you're from, your answer?
All right, so my name is Charles. I am from Pennsylvania.
is probably, I would say, 105.
Great.
I love that. Thank you.
Name where you're from, your answer?
Parce qu'il y a rien à dire, puis c'est long.
Hi, my name's Adam. I'm also from Philly as well.
Hey.
And
Fait que pendant que c'est long puis c'est plate, puis le jeu, il n'y a aucune importance. J'ai rien vu jusqu'à date qui justifie le prix qu'on a pour les collector boosters. Que ce soit 2,99 pour le set, j'ai rien contre. Mais j'ai rien vu encore. J'ai pas une carte qui. La Terra tantôt, j'ai regardé vite, mais j'ai comme. Est intéressante, mais il n'y a pas de. C'est pas wow, c'est pas ci, c'est pas ça. Ça se peut que je laisse faire ce set-là sérieusement, puis que je vais faire d'autres choses. Parce que tant qu'à acheter comme un collector booster pour 8,99, ben tu sais, je pourrais aussi bien m'acheter genre Double Master, que je serais vraiment content d'avoir, ou encore Commander Legend collector booster, que je serais content d'avoir, c'est beaucoup moins cher aussi. Ça commence à. Ouais, ça commence à me gosser un petit peu. J'ai rien vu qui me fait vendre le jeu. Pas qu'il me fait vendre ça, c'est pas que c'est intéressant, je l'achèterais pas, mais les prix trop haut. Fait que j'ai dit tantôt que les prix ont complètement monté, qui vont possiblement monter. Mais bon, ma félicitations, les bleus remontent. Mais je sais pas, parce que j'ai pas de cartes qui sont hype pour l'instant. On est au début du pré-release, puis ils vont pas nécessairement sortir. Je m'attends à la fin qu'ils nous sortent des gros canons, tu sais, quelque chose qui est vraiment lourd, quelque chose qui est vraiment fort. Mais tu sais, il faudrait qu'ils me sortent genre, je sais pas moi, genre un Serialized Black Materia qui en a comme juste, même si ce serait un Serialized Black Materia ou un White Materia Serialized, ça me ferait pas plus acheter ça parce que c'est comme une bonne. Puis même si ce serait un Black Materia ou un White Materia, ce qui serait une bonne carte, il faudrait que je la voie. Mais tu sais, c'est pas une carte qui va faire acheter un set. Je vais juste acheter la carte. Mais c'est du Serialize. C'est quoi la chance que tu tombes sur du Serialize au nombre de fois que c'est imprimé? C'est fou. Donc, ouais, ça regarde comme ça. Ça regarde que ça se fait que je le passe pour l'instant. Ou que je me fais juste comme une box normale, je peux dire que j'en ai, puis that's it. Mais de là à mettre comme. Normalement, qu'est-ce que j'aime faire? C'est acheter 2 ou 3 collector boosters. Mais là, juste acheter 2, je tomberais quasiment à 2000 avec les taxes. C'est beaucoup d'argent pour pas grand-chose.
6 holds the record for a mainline Final Fantasy game with the most playable characters. But exactly how many main playable characters does Final Fantasy VI have in total?
Oh!
All right, here we go. Name, where you're from, your answer?
21,
from Detroit, Michigan, and I'm going with 15.
15.
And you know what? Wait. Gonna go over here for the next one.
Ooh, okay. All
back
right.
and forth. Whoa.
Are you ready? Okay, name where
Going
you're
back
from
and
and
forth,
what is
huh?
the number?
Doing that stuff again.
I'm Matthew from Massachusetts, and I'm going to say 16.
16.
Back over here.
Bruh.
All right, name where you're from, your answer?
Yeah, yo. Don't use this to get brownie points of the host. Just say the right answer. We got to win.
I'm Jack from New York. I'm going to go with 23.
23. Back over here.
All right, hello.
Me semble 18, 23, une affaire de même.
And I think 21.
Thank you so much. 21.
All right, name where you're from, your answer?
Hi, my name is Justin. I'm from Niskayuna, New York, and my number is 20.
20.
Okay.
There we go.
Remember, guys, it's Final Fantasy VI. It's actually not that hard.
Ooh, shots fired. All right, name where you're from and what is the number?
I'm Mike from Springfield, and the number is 14.
You knew it! I mean,
Definitive, thank you.
Okay, everyone, you got to lock in one of those answers, right?
Yo.
Ok.
You done.
Ah, voyez que ça finisse.
You washed.
All right, those answers getting locked in. This is for it. This is for all the bragging rights. You'll feel good all Saturday. Are you excited to find out your champions?
No,
Here we go.
Let's go.
Kenny.
6, 5, wait.
Here we go. Right. Okay. What have you put?
Oh my gosh. We went with 15. I was getting all
15.
kinds of answers. I hope this is right.
Team Chantal, what have you put?
I'm just not sure, so I guess I'll just give you guys the right answer at 14.
Please put us out of our misery. What is it?
We've got 15 on this side, 14 on this side, and the correct answer is 14! Look at that.
Thank you. Put it in.
Hell yeah!
Yes.
Good job.
Congratulations to our winners. Commiserations to our losers. Thank you so much for every single person who came up. I know it's quite daunting. The lights are incredibly bright, and believe me, I know what a bright light feels like.
I just want to thank my opponent. It was a great match.
Oh, thank you.
No,
All right. I'll see you on the rink.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
And on that note, thank you so much to our incredible guests, Talia, Kenny, Karen, and Adam.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you all for helping.
And also to you, thank you so much for participating in this very, very silly game. I promise we will get back to the serious thing of looking at cards. But I believe, are we throwing some booster packs out into the audience right now?
Ah, c'est cool ça.
There you go. I can see some things being thrown around the audience right now. I hope they're booster packs. Please stay in your seats. You will get them if you want.
Regarde ça, puis vraiment, genre...
I'm seeing all the hands up.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a booster pack. Who doesn't want a booster pack, Ben?
I want a booster pack.
I love it. I love it. So much excitement.
Ok, ouais, mais c'est plus hors de contrôle. Sérieusement, là, ce live-là, c'est vraiment n'importe quoi.
Okay, everyone, please settle down, settle down. I did ask myself before I came out, is everyone in the audience feral? And you have just answered that question for me. So thank you so much, and thank you for being very, very silly. I think we need to get back to a little bit of decorum. So please, thank you to our guests, thank you to you. Let's bring our panelists back onto the stage. Gavin, Zakil, Dylan, Daniel, let's rejoin.
Ah, ils sont venus. Bon, enfin, on continue les choses sérieuses. Oh my god, c'est long. Ah.
Who wants to see some magic cards?
Woo!
Yeah! All right.
Je comprends que le 11 a trouvé ça long pis poche, mais ton attitude a vraiment pas aidé, mon gars. C'était fait.
That was incredibly well planned. Let's go. I want everyone to settle down, and I recognize that we can't really jump back immediately into Final Fantasy VII. I think we need to jump into something a little fun. I think we need to jump into something, dare I say, a little cute. Let's watch this.
Okay, what's that? Oh, check vos femmes. Oh shit. Okay, okay. Oh shit. Golden Chocobo. Ok, ça j'avoue que 77. Il y en a juste 77. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wow, that's quasi.
Okay.
That's not in the cards. I just said that myself.
Ok. Premièrement, le Golden, il y a juste 77. Ça va se vendre. Oh my god, ça va se vendre vraiment, mais vraiment cher. Minimum. Juste pour les collectionneurs, c'est qu'il y a du monde qui joue même pas à Magic qui vont vouloir l'avoir. Surtout, probablement, ça va venir plus de... Non, mais c'est Final Fantasy. J'espère pas que tout sur la planète, mais ça va se vendre cher, là. Oh mon dieu, comme tu 4000, 5000 facile en partant. Ok, après ça, on va dire qu'est-ce que la carte a fait. Tu peux garder sur le top de ta première carte anytime, de ta library, ça c'est correct. Tu peux jouer un land ou cast double spell, top de ta library anytime. Ok, c'est bon. Si un land a un bug du contrôle entre dans le jeu qui cause une ability trigger, il va triggerer une seconde fois. Fait que ça coûte juste 3. C'est un bird. Ben oui, parce que c'est Chocobo. Mais sérieusement, c'est quand même bon. On s'entend. Fait que il y a un gros thème autour des oiseaux dans ce set-là.
Okay, Zakil, talk us through this.
Yeah, oh man, I love chocobos. Right here is our flagship chocobo at Mythic in Traveling Chocobo. It is a 3-mana 3/2 that allows you to look at the top card of your library, as well as cast and play birds and lands from the top. Earlier, we showed you Bartz and Boko, who interacts within the bird archetype within the set. That card enters the battlefield and deals damage birds deal damage off that trigger. This card also doubles those triggers. And we knew that chocobos are such an important part of the Final Fantasy franchise that we had to do something really special. So enter our colorful chocobos. Here are 4 of them in neon ink, in yellow, pink, green, and blue. These are found in all language collector boosters. And during development, as we were putting this together, we worked very closely with Final Fantasy VII creative director Tetsuya Nomura, who really loved the idea. One of his producers during development told us that his favorite chocobo from the original Final Fantasy VII was the black chocobo named Teo because he was the fastest one in the original minigame, and it held a very special place in his heart. So we built this last card kind of as a secret in the background and surprised Tetsuya Nomura. So that card is exclusively printed in Japanese and available in all language collector boosters as a nod to that story for him. And then the lone serialized card in Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy is the Golden Chocobo. This card is only available in English collector boosters and is serialized out of 77 for Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Give a round of applause for chocobos.
Ok, mais c'est qui ce gars-là? Il est tellement désagréable. Je l'ai pour mourir.
Now we move on to a little bijou game called Final Fantasy VII. Never heard of it. It really is an amazing video game and it has a huge reputation. Dylan, this game is huge.
So huge, in fact, that on the original release for PlayStation, it came in 3 discs. If you were an old school gamer, if you were there back in the day, you knew you were in for a wild time.
3 disques, puis il donnait un t-shirt, et j'avais l'original, et j'avais le t-shirt. Je l'ai fait. J'ai beau charler dessus plus tantôt, mais je l'ai fait. Pourquoi je charle dessus? C'est simple. Il est bon. Il y a beaucoup de nostalgie parce qu'il était sur PlayStation. Mais c'est qu'il y a des meilleurs Final Fantasy que ça. Je sais pas, il y a eu beaucoup de marketing, tout le kit. Tu sais, c'est pas... Je trouve qu'il manque de substance. Puis il manque de choses avec le temps. Est-ce que j'ai du fun à jouer? Oui. Est-ce que je jouerais? Non. J'ai pas le... Ça m'intéresse pas. Il y a pas de... Je sais pas. Pour moi, il est pas si magique que ça.
Time when your game came in multiple discs, especially for an RPG. So, walk with me. Final Fantasy VII follows the story of Cloud Strife, ex-soldier and current mercenary, as he winds up in this broiling conflict between the Shinra Electric Company and the anti-Shinra resistance group, Avalanche. Cloud's adventure begins in Midgar, of course, the city of Mako, and this world that we're introduced to is inspired by these science fantasy aesthetics and these kind of cyberpunk-inspired themes. And the first disc is just about this amazing adventure that brings together the core cast of characters like Barrett, Tifa, Aerith, Red 13, as they battle against Shinra, and ultimately learn of a deadlier threat looming on the horizon, Sephiroth.
Please insert disc 2.
Disc 2 launches us into the open world, traveling across the lands, battling monsters, riding chocobo, collecting materia, and visiting many iconic locations like the Gold Saucer and Cosmo Canyon. And we get to meet more allies like Kate Sith and Sid Highwind. And if you're going for the full experience in the original release, you spend a lot of time recruiting Yuffie and Vincent.
Wait.
The stakes become higher. We learn more about the ancients and Genova, Sephiroth's master plan, and Cloud's increasingly mysterious backstory.
Please insert.
Oh, okay, we want to do disc 3. So finally, in the ultimate finale, we hit the major climax, plot twists, shocking character deaths, cataclysmic boss battles, and a final gauntlet against Genova and Sephiroth to save the world. So I've taken you on this extended and somewhat silly journey just to kind of remind all of us how much content we needed to fit into this set just from Final Fantasy VII.
So, there are obviously some amazing cards. Let's get to it. Gavin, let's show us one.
All right, well, we have to have the characters for Final Fantasy VII, of course. So how about Cloud? We knew we had to do Cloud. Obviously, we're going to do Cloud, but...
Ok, j'arrive juste par après. Quand tu en jeu, tu cherches à renouveler ton équipement carte, tu révèles, puis tu peux dans ton hand, tu shuffle. Cloud coûte juste 2, c'est vraiment bon. Mais c'est Cloud Midgard Mercenary, fait que c'est Cloud au début. Puis quand il est équipé, ici une habilité qui est... Quand un équipement est équipé à lui, si il y a une habilité qui est trigger, ben elle trigger une autre fois. C'est tout. Fait que...
But what was Cloud going to do? How are we going to make him a card that was worthy of the Cloud mantle? Well, the first thing Cloud does when he comes into play is go and find an equipment. Of course, he's got to find his sword. That's critical. Now, if you are a long-time Magic player, you might know about a card called Stoneforge Mystic. Very powerful Magic card. Cloud is a little bit reminiscent of that, finding you any equipment you want. It also doubles all the abilities conferred by that equipment. So you put, say, an old school Sword of Fire and Ice or Sword of Feast and Famine on him. Boom, you're doubling up all those triggers. So there's a lot of really powerful stuff you can do with Cloud. This card is incredible and well worthy of being Cloud. Now you might be wondering, what is Cloud going to find? What kind of stuff might you want to find with Cloud? Well, there's a card in the set called Buster Sword. That's some pretty good news, right? Would you all like to see the Buster Sword? Well, I'm not going to show it to you. You can stay tuned to find out what the Buster Sword does in the days to come, but I can tell you that it's 3 mana, curves right off of a Cloud, and it's pretty good on Cloud himself.
Oh, not showing it to us, quite literally the...
Fait que j'imagine que la sœur va avoir une habilité qui trigger 2 fois dessus. We'll see.
Definition of a double-edged sword. Zakeel, what's next?
Our next card, in my opinion, is one of the most iconic characters in video game history. He has brought excitement, joy, and terror to millions of fans around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor and a privilege to introduce to you, illustrated by none other than Tetsuya Nomura, Sephiroth. So Stephanie mentioned earlier that there were 9 artists from Square Enix who created illustrations exclusively for this project. One of those artists, of course, was Tetsuya Nomura. They all had the choice to pick any character from the Final Fantasy series that they wanted to illustrate, and we would make sure that they had a card. one of Nomura's missions when he drew this illustration was to really narrate the progression that the character has in his multiple different forms. So if we look on the left at the bottom, you have child Sephiroth that was introduced in Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, who of course then grows up into adult Sephiroth from the original game, who then transforms into his penultimate form in Bizarro Sephiroth, which then leads to the end-all, be-all, most powerful version in Safer Sephiroth. So, do you all want to see his card? So let's check out.
Ok. Je pensais que c'était une saga, mais je pense que ça va être une saga. Ou encore ce tableau, puis on a juste cuté pour aller chercher qu'est-ce qu'il y avait besoin. On y va, on commence avec ses Fable Soldier. Il me semble qu'il était déjà sorti. Quand il rentre en jeu, il attaque. Il y a beaucoup de cartes qui rentrent en jeu et attaque. Tu peux écrire nos créatures et si tu peux jouer une carte. Bon, c'est quand même bien. C'est comme un Skullclam sans être un Skullclam. Même si c'est vraiment pas un Skullclam, je sais pas pourquoi je dis ça, mais bref. Quand nos créatures meurent, target opponent per une life et gain une life. Ok, fait que ça trigger ensemble. Oh, je comprends. C'est qu'il y en a deux, c'est juste une évolution. Il y a beaucoup de ça d'évolution, c'est correct. Je comprends. Je comprends. Puis c'est la quatrième fois que ça arrive, ce tour-ci, tu le transformes. Ok, fait que plus tu tues, plus il devient puissant. Supernova. Ah ah ah! C'est donc bien cool. Supernova, premièrement, je me calme. Ok. Humain Avatar Soldier. Engine Nightmare Avatar. Ok, c'est bon. Il flying parce qu'il vole. Supernova. As this creature transforme into Sephiroth. Wandering Angel. C'est un emblème que whenever une créature die, ok, fait que c'est un emblème qui fait exactement la même chose que ça. Quand il attaque, tu peux sacrifier n'importe combien. Je me calme et j'y vais moins vite. Quand Sephiroth attaque, on peut sacrifier autant de créatures qu'on veut. Puis si on veut, on pige that many cards. Ok. Fait que c'est comme kind of évolution de ça ici. Ok. 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 Fait que c'est plus jeune, c'est plusieurs. Ok. C'est comme meilleure amélioration de celui-ci. Puis lui, c'est une emblème. Fait que même si Exile disparaît, oubliette, l'emblème devrait rester sur le jeu.
Sephiroth, Fabled Soldier. He's a 3-mana 3/3. Whenever he enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card. Then, whenever another creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And if this is the 4th time this ability is triggered, transform Sephiroth into Sephiroth, One-Winged Angel, who is a 5/5 legendary creature angel nightmare with flying and the ability Supernova. As this creature transforms, you gain an emblem with the same ability from the front side, and it is capped off with whenever Sephiroth attacks, you may sacrifice any number of other creatures. If you do, draw that many cards. This is the 2nd ever creature in Magic the Gathering to produce an emblem. This is the card that I think went through the most design iterations. It felt like we had a new build of Sephiroth every single month within development because we wanted to make sure his card was special and he would have a grand entrance into Magic the Gathering.
Amazing. Okay, let's moving on. So many amazing characters in Final Fantasy VII. Here's one. Dylan.
We're going to talk about the story of Sephiroth and Cloud. Of course, we're going to talk about Aerith herself. So here we can see.
Ok, Aerith. Personnage cute, que pas mal tout le monde aime. Bref, assez parler d'elle, ça finit là. Ok, Lifelink, c'est correct. Main Cleric. Qu'est-ce qui est intéressant, c'est qu'il n'y a pas d'évolution, parce qu'il n'y a pas vraiment d'évolution à avoir d'elle, pour des raisons qu'on connaît tous. Ok, fait que quand tu gagnes la vie, tu mets plus un là-dessus. Ok. Quand elle meurt. Oh non! Ah, quand elle meurt. Put X pour chaque counter on legendary creature control. C'est le nombre naturellement de counters qu'elle a sur elle. Fait que, mettons qu'elle meurt, elle a 5 counters puis tu Cloud à côté, ben elle meurt, tu fais ces 5 counters-là sur Cloud. Fait que c'est une façon de keep les counters en jeu puis tout le kit. Quelque chose à faire là-dedans, dans un deck d'ange, que je connais serait intéressant aussi.
Aerith is the white mage and healer of the party. She's here to protect you, she's here to heal you, and she has a third ability that may or may not be related to a story beat. So, if you're a fan, let us know if that happens to be relevant or not. I'm not sure myself.
Yeah. Spoiler alert on that card for some reason. Okay, let's moving on.
We see this beautiful version of the flower girl herself. But we're not just going to talk about Aerith today, we're also going to talk about Tifa!
Yay, Tifa! Ok, Tifa. Regardons. J'aime que ce soit en manque parce qu'il utilise ses mains. Et Trample. Colin arrive en jeu. Tu dois Tifa local. Power to the end of turn. Ouch! Ça peut faire très mal. Ça peut faire très mal. Puis, oh my god, elle a Trample en plus. Genre de carte qui peut te tuer comme en 3 tours. Quand tu sais comment la monter comme du monde, ça peut te tuer en 3 tours. Ok. Ben, avec dans le vert, c'est assez facile. Dans le vert, surtout, là, c'est pas comme si on allait. Tu vas chercher tes fetchlands, tu vas chercher. Comment ça s'appelle? Je pense que c'est pour Joining, des affaires comme ça. N'importe quoi que tu sacrifies un land qui donne un autre land sur le jeu. Avec des +1/+1, admettons, tu mets n'importe quoi. Juste à partir à 2, ça fait la différence. Juste à partir à 2, ça fait la différence. Fait que, comme. Admettons que tu as la main parfaite, tu es capable de tuer en tour, puis en plus, tu as du commandeur de mage. Fait que 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 un tour. Je verrais plus comme tuer quelqu'un en 3, 4 tours avec ça. Mais ça doit se faire comme. J'ai pas d'idée relativement pour plus vite que ça, là, mais en 3, 4 tours, ça peut se faire facile. Je le vois. Ok, après ça, Tifa, Martial Artist. Melee, ok, c'est correct, on sait ce que ça fait Melee. Quand une ou plusieurs créatures que tu contrôles de power 7 ou plus grande font du combat en player. Ok, une tape all créature contrôle. Ok, puis dans le fond, il y a une seconde phase après ce combat. Ce qui donne une seconde phase. Couleur Naya, fait que c'est des grosses créatures, c'est du power, c'est ouch, ça fait mal. Fait que, ouais. Naturellement, celle-là ici, tu peux la mettre là-dedans ici. Bonne carte. Ouais. Bon design. Bonne carte. J'aime ça.
So we see 2 Tifas here, and I actually see a Tifa here in the front row. You look fantastic. The one on the left here is Tifa Lockhart. This is her main set card, and I just want to personally attest. I have won so many games in-house with this card, and I've lost even more games against this card. She is very, very powerful, but it's not the only Tifa that we have. Dan, you want to talk about the Commander version?
Right, you see that Chocobo symbol? That means we're talking about Commander. This is the secondary Commander for the Commander deck for Final Fantasy.
En passant, la différence entre les deux, ben, c'est vraiment simple aussi, là, on s'entend. Ça, c'est du Voltron. Ça, je vais Voltron juste support, après juste comme rester là, puis chiller, puis faire son habilité, ça va être vraiment chill. Ou encore, tu peux te baser sur elle pour faire pour faire son habilité aussi, c'est comme tu veux, mais ça, c'est vraiment du Voltron qui est assez dévastateur. Celle-là fait vraiment plus peur. Surtout en plus, mono green, tu veux faire ça dans le tas rapidement puis faire mal à tout le monde, ben voilà.
Fantasy 7, this is Tifa. She has melee, I put that on pretty early on, you know, martial artist, she gets in there. But the second ability I was struggling with for a little bit of while, and then Dylan joined the game design team pretty late, and he's like, hey, what if you focused on this? So we leaned into that extra attack. That's what she does in the game. You're trying to get combos going. And so whenever you attack with melee, you get to power 7 or greater, which is the sub-theme of the deck. You get those extra combats. So, as you guessed, there is a full Final Fantasy VII Commander deck, led by none other than Cloud himself. This deck is an equipment deck with that sub-theme of power 7 or greater, so in this deck you'll find every party member you come to expect, maybe some villain.
Ok. Ça, on l'avait déjà vu, il était déjà sorti, mais j'ai pas comment déjà le faire. Quand Cloud rentre en jeu, tu peux attacher un équipement sur lui. Quand Cloud attaque, tu peux jouer une carte pour chaque équipement attaché. Ah non, pour chaque créature qui attaque aussi qui a un équipement sur lui. Fait que si tu as 3 créatures qui attaquent, tu en as 2 qui ont des équipements, tu piges 2 cartes. Puis si Cloud a Power 7 au greater, en plus, tu piges pas, tu crées 2 trésors tokens. Fait que, wow, c'est bon.
In here as well, and all the iconic equipment like a
Ah, écoute 5, il y a Est, Human, Soldier, Mercenary. Human Soldier, ça devrait être déjà suffisant. C'est quand même des bons tiers qui avec ça aussi, mais ouais.
Buster Sword, Yuffie Shuriken, Tifa's boots, everything you'd expect to find. And then with that Cloud as the face commander, he's tying everything together. He gets in there with that haste magic. He gets a free equipment. And then whenever he attacks, you draw a card for each attacking member of your team that is suited up. And then if his power is 7 or more, he gets paid as that mercenary to cast those spells.
Incredible. Right. Here we are. Finally, the game I've been waiting for, and hopefully all of you have. Final Fantasy VIII. Yes. Quite literally the game that changed my life, so this is a very emotional moment for me. Dylan, let's talk about this game.
There is so much to love and appreciate about Final Fantasy VIII. I'm so happy you all cheered so loud for this game. So Final Fantasy VIII kind of pushes what we understand fantasy to be as a genre, right? It really leans into a lot of esoteric ideas. You know, if we all remember Squall dreaming of Laguna and events of the past, trying to figure out how to stop the future, and then ultimately we go up against Ultimisia, whose whole plan harkens back to Chaos from Final Fantasy I to compress time and space into one massive power source for her to become an ascendant being. This story explores depth upon layer of how we understand fantasy to be in a modernized setting. I see why you love it so much.
I do. Daniel, let's talk us through this card here. My boy Squall.
As Renoa once said, he's the best looking guy here. It's Squall. He's a bit of a lone wolf character, so that's what his abilities represent with that rough.
Ouais, Squall. Oh, Human Knight. C'est Mercenary. Différent de Squall. Pas de Squall de Cloud. Ok, on y va. FF8, un de mes préférés, parce que je suis d'accord, il y a beaucoup de layers à FF8, plus qu'on pense. J'ai aimé aussi le passé avec Laguna, tout, puis des affaires intéressantes qui se passent. Les sorcières sont vraiment intéressantes aussi. Mais bref, j'y vais. Quand une créature attaque tout seul, il gagne double strike. Ok. Quand score de combat de match à player, tu retournes un permanent de 3. Oh! De 3 ou moins dans ton graveyard to the battlefield. Ok. Il y a des choses à faire avec ça. Ah, ces couleurs sont intéressantes par contre, hein? Orzhov, écoute quand même 4. Ok.
Rough Divide. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gets double strike. Why is that important? The second ability. Whenever he deals damage to a player, you get to return any non-land permanent with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. You got double strike, you're doing that twice. I think we have a booster fund version to show as well with that full art. Yeah, there it is. And I did mention Renoa at the beginning, Zakil. Maybe we should show her card?
Yeah. Here we have Renoa Heartlily.
Look at that. Look.
Oh my god, ils ont fait Angelo. Ah, Renoa. Ok, donc Renoa. Rebel Warlock. Ok, quand même. Selenas. Quand arrive en jeu, tu quittes Angelo. Angelo Gannon. Ah non, il explose. Ah non. Elle coûte 5. Ish. Ça ne dérange pas, c'est une commande, mais c'est plus qu'elle coûte 5. Quand elle attaque, une autre target créature contrôle de +1/+1. Pour toutes les créatures que tu contrôles. Oh, nice. Ok, fait que c'est quand même. Tu as Angelo, tu vas être boosté, tu vas pas mourir en vain. Fait que c'est intéressant ça aussi. J'avais pas fait le lien, merci de le dire, Double Strike, si ça passe effectivement. Fait que dans un reanimate deck. Oui, si.
Look at that. Yeah, Renoa is a close friend of Squall, and mechanically is known for battling alongside her dog, Angelo. So it would only be right for her to have the ability Angelo Cannon in combat. When you attack, if you have a very large party, you get a buff. Angelo, any target creature you control, but specifically Angelo, gets a huge buff. So he will come in hot. So get ready. And I think next we're going to be looking at the villain of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, enough with these heroes. Let's go on to the real hero of Final Fantasy VIII, and that is Ultimisia.
J'adore.
We did something very special on this card.
Je l'adore. Oh my god. Elle, Kafka, ben Kafka, c'est normal, c'est Kafka. On n'a pas vu Cloud of Darkness. Je sais pas s'ils vont faire Cloud of Darkness. Comment il s'appelle dans le 4? C'est dans le 4 ou c'est dans le 2, le Felicious Tree? L'arbre, c'est dans le 5, je pense. C'est dans le 5 avec Bart, c'est le Felicious Tree. Qui devient... Je ne me souviens plus de son nom, mais il est un peu poche. Il est pas poche. Ben, il ressemble pas mal, au méchant de Final Fantasy 1. C'est dans le 4 ou dans le 5, je ne me souviens plus de son nom. Dans le 2, c'est l'empereur. Dans le 3, c'était qui? C'est 3 Cloud of the Darkness? Je pense que c'est 3 Cloud of Darkness. 4, c'est l'autre. En tout cas, peu importe. Ultimate Shot. Quand on entre à l'attaque, encore. Surveille 2. Ok, ben c'est quand même bon. Un coup de 5. Le temps de common. Ok. J'essaie de card de mon graveyard. Puis je paye fucking 8. Je peux la transformer. Tout se paye 8 jusqu'à date. Menace. Ok. Thème compression. Oh, tu prends un autre tour. Oh. Mais qu'est-ce que j'ai eu dans ces affaires-là de prendre un autre tour? Tu payes 8. Fait que tu payes ton tour, avoir un autre tour. Comme si t'as juste assez de mana, c'est pas tant rentable. C'est que le tour que t'as perdu à payer 8 mana, tu peux rien faire d'autre. Ben, tu l'as pas vraiment utilisé. Mettons que t'as 20 mana, ben là, tu vas faire des affaires, tu t'en transformes, puis tu te le quittes, puis blablabla, tu fais tes affaires, mais sinon. Mais bref, je l'aime beaucoup. Je l'aime beaucoup, beaucoup, beaucoup. C'est un super bon personnage.
This card in Magic's history to be an uncommon that takes an extra turn. So this is an incredibly powerful card for an uncommon. When she comes into play, she does a little surveilling, you know, fills up your graveyard a little bit. And then finally, when you have, interesting number, 8 cards in your graveyard and 8 mana, you can turn her over to Ultimisia Omnipotent, take another turn, and I'll tell you, 7/7 Menace plus another turn is a pretty easy way to close out a game. So yeah, take that, heroes, take that.
Okay, do we have any Triple Triad fans in the room? Oh! Would you like to see some Triple Triad cards? Yeah, I asked, they won't let me show them. Okay. But believe me, they're in there. So, moving on pretty swiftly, we're going to go on to...
Oh, il y a des Triumph cards. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. OK. Ça commence à avoir un petit peu plus de valeur, mais ça vaut quand même pas quand même 900$ le collector booster jusqu'à date.
A little game called Final Fantasy IX. Here's Stephanie to tell us more.
I'm so excited to introduce my personal favorite of the
Final Fantasy IX, le préféré à mon ami Val. Val, si tu me regardes, je suis sûr que tu ne me regardes pas, mais on va voir si ton personnage préféré va être là, et je souhaite qu'il soit là pour toi. Puis que je ne sois pas tapé toute cette vidéo-là pour rien. Allons-en, on continue.
Final Fantasy series, Final Fantasy IX. Final Fantasy IX was a fond farewell to the classic medieval fantasy setting.
C'est vrai.
It paid homage to earlier games through its stylized character designs and was full of references and features from past games. One of our core creative pillars in this partnership was artistic authenticity. We needed to preserve the stylized character designs while interpreting it through the lens of magic so we could offer something fresh and exciting while staying true to the heart of Final Fantasy IX. The story follows Zidane as he teams up with the Princess of Alexandria, Garnet, to stop Queen Braun and her army of black mages. It balances charm and lovable characters with an emotional, often heart-wrenching story of self-discovery and acceptance. As a teenager, the themes were so memorable and spoke to my angsty younger self. I went as far as getting my hands on the piano collections and learned to play a few iconic pieces by heart. I fondly remember replaying my save file over and over again just to rewatch those incredible cutscenes. This game was incredibly resonant, and as with every game in the Final Fantasy series, it was important that we did Final Fantasy IX justice.
Okay. Let's see some cards. Akil?
Yes. The first character we're going to look at is one of the antagonists from Final Fantasy IX, and that is Kuja, Genome Sorcerer. Now, his illustration depicts a scene in which he is summoning an army of black mages against our heroes.
Hey, on y va. Ok, fait que au début de ton end step, tu fais un 01 Black Mage Wizard. Oh my god. Ok, puis quand tu casses un spell, un dommage à tout le monde. Battre les opponents. Si avec contrôle fort Wizard, tu peux transformer Kuja. Donc, on va voir plutôt, on va transformer en quoi.
He is also the head of the black-red archetype within the set that focuses on black mages, and he has two forms once he...
Fait que si il y a Wizard que tu contrôles, qui fait du dommage permanent, il fait le double. Oh my... Ah, je l'aime. Tu peux vraiment baser quelque chose là-dessus. Je vais mettre dans mon deck Wizard qui existe.
At the end of each end step, he summons wizards to the battlefield, and once you have 4 more, he transforms into his more powerful version, Trance Kuja, that doubles the damage of all wizards to players or permanents you control. And check out that beautiful wizard token. Up next, we have a card for the Magic fans. We haven't shown any Final Fantasy Through the Ages bonus sheet cards. Check out this card.
Zidane. Quand tu fais des dommages en player, tu crées un trésor et tu exiles le top de ta librairie, puis j'imagine que tu peux la jouer jusqu'à la fin de ton tour. C'est exactement ça. Ok, ben c'est vrai, c'est le retour de Ragavan. Ben c'est ça, c'est Ragavan. Ah, oh my god. C'est trop facile. Un singe.
Print of Ragavan, Nimble Pilferer as Zidane Tribal. Gavin, who else from Final Fantasy IX is in this set?
Well, as a huge 9 fan, I'm really happy to show.
Excusez-moi, je prenais une photo pour un ami. Ok, donc on y va. Vivi. 0. Ok, ça coûte 0. Justement, durant ton tour. Ok, c'est le Vivi Power. Quand tu casses une autre créature spell, put plus 1 counter on Vivi. Et il dit un dommage sur le shooter opponent. Yeah, il est donc bien cool. Ah, Vivi. Ah, t'es un foule. C'est juste pour la réaction de la foule.
As Zidane Tribal. Gavin, who else from Final Fantasy IX is in this set?
Well, as a huge 9 fan, I'm really happy to show to you. That's the reaction I was hoping for, everybody. Here's Vivi. All right, so a little bit of black mages going on right here, right? We saw black mages a moment ago. When you cast a non-creature spell, you ping them.
Hey, j'ai oublié. C'est vraiment cool. Fire, Firaga. Pour ceux ici qui ne connaissent pas Final Fantasy, c'est comme les 3 évolutions du spell Fire. Fait que c'est vraiment cool qu'il ait fait ça, puis qu'il y ait 1 dommage, 2 dommages, 3 dommages. Chose one Untitled Cost. Fait que j'imagine que quand tu payes tes 5, ça fait 1, 2, 3. Fait que dans le fond, tu fais 6 total. Mais 6, mais dans certains decks, t'as moyen de le copier, fait que c'est quand même pas si pire. To each créature. Est-ce que je vais vraiment faire ça, to each créature? Peut-être au besoin. Mais c'est ça.
Vivi's a little more curious than that. Wants to get +1/+1 counters and then generate you mana equal to Vivi's power. So, not only will it generate mana as you cast more and more spells, but also if you say giant growth or put an equipment on them, it'll generate you tons and tons of mana. On the right-hand side there, we will see Fire Magic, which is a card with the new tiered mechanic. Tiered is a brand new mechanic appearing here in Final Fantasy. You've never seen this before. We knew we had to get abilities like Fire, Fyra, and Fyraga into the set somehow. So this is kind of like a modal kicker. It's on a handful of cards, and the more mana you put in, the bigger effect you get, just like in Final Fantasy.
Okay, Kevin, you're sounding very enthusiastic. Is it okay that your favorite game is Final Fantasy IX, right? You put a little bit extra work into this one.
Yeah, as the lead set designer, I might get to put my thumb on the scale a little bit, and so I gave 9 a bit of extra love. That's my bias.
Talking about extra love, right now we're moving on to a game called Final Fantasy X. Yeah. First game on the PlayStation 2, the story of...
Encore une fois, Final Fantasy X s'appelle le Final Fantasy VII parce qu'on a changé de console, on a vraiment improved les graphiques, on a laissé un nouveau genre, et c'est un jeu qui est beau, mais calisse qu'il est linéaire. Pis ça fait chier du monde. Ça m'a fait chier parce que tu sors d'un genre où tu vas à peu près, pas n'importe où, mais qui est quand même assez permissif. C'est vraiment, là, tu fais pas de grind, tu suis une histoire. Final Fantasy X, c'est un livre adapté en jeu vidéo que tu suis. Du début à la fin, t'as pas besoin de te forcer ou quoi que ce soit. J'ai jamais eu de la misère, je me suis jamais senti en danger. J'ai plus besoin de grinder comme dans le 4. Ça voulait moins de liberté que qu'est-ce qu'il y avait dans le 7, dans le 8, puis dans le 10, puis dans le 9. L'histoire est pas aussi intéressante que les autres. Les personnages sont attachants. J'aime bien les personnages. Mais bref, c'est ça qui est ça. Mais j'ai quand même du plaisir à jouer à Final Fantasy X. C'est juste que pour moi, il n'est pas nécessairement à la hauteur des autres. Mais ça reste quand même un bon jeu.
Tidus and Yuna, it's an epic quest and it's probably the reason that I'm...
Ah, la musique. La musique. Qui ne connaît pas Tucson Arcane? Voilà. Puis pas juste ça, il y a aussi quand Yuna fait sa danse, aussi pour la première fois, qui était quand même quelque chose à voir. On était là avec elle, là, on vivait avec elle, là, c'était vraiment immersif pour ça. C'est pour ça que le 10 a vraiment des très beaux moments, puis je pense pas que ça... Quelqu'un qui veut jouer à des jeux vidéo, je pense que ça vaut quand même la peine qu'il joue au 10.
Around. The first Final Fantasy game to have actual voice acting in it. Without it, I wouldn't have a job. It's also one of our commander decks, isn't that right, Daniel?
That's true. And speaking of favorite Final Fantasy series, of course I had to make a Final Fantasy X.
Ok, so, on y va avec ça ici. Au début de ton combat, de ton tour, tu bouges un counter d'un target créature ou une autre créature contrôle. Ok, c'est bon. Couleur Bant, Human Warrior. Quand une ou plus des créatures contrôlent un compteur sur lui et qui fait des combats damage, tu peux piger une carte et proliferate. On peut faire ça une fois par tour seulement, parce que sinon ça finirait plus. Fait que c'est comme pour auto-bloquer un auto-combo ou quelque chose quand même, un loop infini. Fait que c'est bon qu'il y ait ça. Fait que c'est correct. Fait que là, encore une fois, tu peux le jouer C'est plus un commander qui va rester là qu'au turn de sel, puis je sais plus si les autres créatures vont faire la job. Quoique tu peux jouer Voltron aussi, mais t'as plus. C'est pas nécessaire.
Commander deck. The thing about commander decks is while the main set goes wide, touching all 16
Ou encore, je le prendrais puis je le crisserais dans un deck à track ça. Juste pour faire encore plus chier.
games, these commander decks go deep. They're going to get those heartwarming moments that follow Yuna and her party along. And while I'm not showing you that specific Yuna moment that you're probably all thinking right now, believe me, there is a beautiful card in the set for that. But let's talk about this deck. It is built around the sphere grid. That's what I wanted to do right away. It is a counters matters deck. In the game, you're moving pebbles around, getting new abilities and raising your stats. In the game, you're going to be moving your counters around like you're building the sphere grid. Tidus himself has that ability in the beginning to set up your party at the beginning of a combat, and then cheer whenever he connects. He will proliferate all of those counters, draw cards, and you will keep going and going for that goal. And yes, there is Blitzball in here.
Yeah. Blitzball, baby. Okay, so that's Tidus, but where is Yuna, Zakil?
Guys, you can't have Final Fantasy X without my girl Yuna. For those who don't know, Yuna is a summoner that travels through Spira alongside her guardians, and her main mechanical ability is...
Ok, on va y aller. Durant le tour, Yuna et les créatures enchantées que tu contrôles, Half-Trample, Left Link et Noir 2. C'est fort. On voit encore une fois ici qu'il y a quand même le thème ici qui ressemble à celui de Tidus. C'est son gardien, mais Tidus vient d'une place où il y a de l'eau, puis il joue au blitzball, tu le quittes, fait que c'est pour ça qu'il y a du bleu. Il y a du flavor là-dedans, il y a du flavor, j'aime ça. Au début de ton end-step, tu peux retourner un target enchantement de ton graveyard to the battlefield with ta finality counter. Ok, pour ceux qui ne savent pas c'est quoi finality counter, c'est simple. Peu importe c'est quoi, mettons, je sais pas, moi t'en as un avec un finality counter, elle meurt, et t'exile. Point. C'est comme, et là pour une dernière fois, puis elle s'en va. Puis, c'est flavor aussi, parce qu'on s'entend que Yuna est une... Moi, je serais plus une enchanteresse, mais c'est vrai que c'est plus une clérique. Et elle permet, dans l'heure, elle permet de faire passer les esprits à un autre monde, quelque chose comme ça. Fait que la ramener, elle a des collections aussi des créatures magiques. C'est très flavor Yuna. J'aime beaucoup le texte. J'aime vraiment beaucoup ce qu'ils ont fait avec. On continue.
Her power to summon Aeons onto the battlefield to aid her in battle. So this card focuses entirely on interacting with the saga creatures in the set, resurrecting summons from the graveyard each turn, as well as buffing them while they are on the battlefield during your turn. And check out this beautiful borderless treatment as well.
Gorgeous. And from the summoner to the summoned. Let's see one of the most iconic Aeons. How does this one work?
This is the correct reaction for Bahamut. Now, when I was a kid, if you asked me to picture the coolest possible thing I could ever think of, I would get you Bahamut very fast. So when we concepted this card, the conceptor, the artist, and the art director, we all agreed we had to capture the aura of Bahamut and put it into this card. So we see the moment, the first time you summon it in-game, and if you look at the flavor word mega...
Encore une fois, on voit que c'est un Saga de Reagan. Il y a une chose qu'il faut que j'éclaire, puis j'ai peut-être mal compris depuis le début. Est-ce que, comme à la fin de ton 5, à place de la sacrifier, elle arrive en jeu en créature à la fin, ou encore c'est une créature tout le long, puis après ça, tu la sacrifies? J'ai manqué ce bout-là, j'allais le relire. Ok. 1-2, tu détruis up to one target non-land permanent. Ok, t'es pas obligé. C'est bon pour la politique. Après ça, 3, tu piges 2 cartes. 4 méga flares. Ça fait des créatures de école de dommage of total mana value of votre opponent contre each opponent. Wow. Ok. Fait que, admettons que tu as 5 créatures, puis le total de 5 créatures, c'est 15. Ben, ça fait normalement 15 à tous les opposants. Mais déjà, elle, on parle de permanent. Fait on parle du Soloring qui est 1. On parle de elle qui est déjà 9 en partant. Fait minimalement, avec ça, ça veut dire que tu fais 9 à chaque fois. Fait ben, pas à chaque fois, là, mais en partant avec ça. Fait probablement que rendu Ben, déjà, elle va se targeter quand même assez vite, j'imagine. Tu vas pas laisser ça passer. Dépendamment, t'es rendu dans le jeu ou quoi que ce soit. C'est pas tout le monde qui est capable de manger 9 quand il joue à Magic, dépendamment le nombre de. Pas le nombre, mais la sorte de laine. Voyons. La sorte de. Hey, j'ai de la misère. La sorte de deck qui joue. Il y a des decks qui pardonnent plus le 9 de dégâts que d'autres. Moi, j'ai des decks, par exemple, que je prends pas de life. C'est juste quand je fonce dans le tas, puis je tue, puis... Il y a des decks que je connais qui ont juste gagné de la vie, fait que ça, ils s'en foutent un petit peu, mais bref, ça dépend de comment tu joues. On continue.
A flare, you get to that overdrive, and you know the game will be over.
Oh, that's pretty. So, also, this game has some of the most beautiful vistas in all of Final Fantasy. Let's show off some cool lands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
So, I mentioned some of those rare towns earlier. This is part of a 5-card cycle, one for each color, and for 5 different games. This is Zanarkand, Ancient Metropolis. This does something we've...
OK. OK. Un land. Sorcery. Le land on tap. C'est nice. Create à 1 colorless rose creature token. OK. Put upset pour continuer on it for each land you control. OK. Mais coûte 6. Non, je trouve pas ça super bon, sérieusement. Parce qu'en plus, ils rentrent taper. Moi, les lands qui rentrent taper, j'ai bien la misère.
We've never done before, which is put an adventure on a land. These are the only 5 adventures in the set. They're on the cycle of 5 lands, and it's a great flavor fit because they are all things that happen in that location. Of course, if you're hanging out in Zanarkand, you might encounter the Fates. You can look for all 5 of these rare lands in the set, one for each color.
Amazing. So, before the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV, there was the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XI.
Oh my God!
Here
yes,
we go.
my people!
And because it is an MMORPG, you had a different approach to the other games in the series.
Yeah, so Final Fantasy XI as an MMO has a lot to explore, a lot to cover, a lot to dig into. It was my first MMORPG of all time. I spent countless hours, scouring the realms of Vana'diel, whether I was making friends online or whether I was going up notorious monsters and absolutely just getting my butt kicked. I was just having the time of my life. So speaking of notorious monsters, let's talk about potentially the most notorious monster.
Je n'ai pas joué au Final Fantasy Online, ceux-là, je ne les connais pas. Donc, allons voir qu'est-ce que ça donne. Puis, si vous êtes des fans de FF11, ben, vous êtes chanceux.
In that game. Just as a quick recap, if you don't know the story behind this character, this is a nigh unbeatable super boss end game for the toughest of alliances with the best gear, and even...
Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! Tu sais, c'est juste une grosse patate, mais je trouve ça vraiment nice. You have protection from each of your opponent. Fait que... Ish. C'est comme une espèce de progenitus qui coûte moins cher, qui est plus facile à caster, puis qui a flying. Imaginez-vous si progenitus avait flying. Mais la protection d'un opponent, c'est fort. Puis, tu sais, la phrase, là, pour être bien simple, pour cacher l'ampleur de l'affaire, comme by anything controlled by your opponent. Un spell qu'un opponent lance, il est contrôlé par l'opponent. Fait que ça soit Fireball, que ça soit n'importe quelle affaire qui fasse sacrifier des créatures, sacrifier 3 créatures par exemple, puis n'importe quoi. Tout ce qui target qui sort de la main d'opponent qui utilise spécifiquement, ça ne passe pas. Mais ça peut targeter tes créatures. Fait que c'est une excellente protection. Puis, une façon aussi de le protéger puis des affaires naturellement. C'est quand même, je trouve, beaucoup de... Ce serait quand même beaucoup d'efforts de protéger ces créatures-là. Mais je trouve ça le fun. C'est le fun des fois d'avoir des créatures comme ça qui sont juste grosses, qui sont juste méchantes, qui font juste chier, qui sont vraiment dures à te débarrasser. Fait que quand tu joues contre certains styles de deck, ça peut être vraiment utile d'avoir ta protection contre l'autre opponent. C'est pas bon dans toutes les situations, mais c'est ça.
Even then, it was very difficult to even approach taking down. If you take a look at his card, I wonder what kind of time you will have when you go up against him.
Now something absolutely terrifying to something a little cuter. Let's talk about the Dragoon's Wyvern.
Where are my Dragoons at from Final Fantasy XI? We all remember our Wyverns. I love this little guy. I spent so much time trying to go after this advanced job specifically because I love the idea of having the Wyvern. And so that's what Final Fantasy is about. It's achieving that amazing job, class, fantasy, in these beautiful, amazing worlds, and then never forgetting the whimsy.
Here we go. There's one more. You got something to show us, right, Zakil?
Yes, we've talked about monsters, we've talked about the sense of adventure. Let's talk about everyone's favorite NPC, the original Taro Black Mage from Final Fantasy XI, Shantoto. Now, Shantoto is the flagship uncommon, signpost uncommon within the set that focuses on spell slinging. When you cast non-creature spells, she gets buffs on the battlefield, and then if you cast anything that costs more than 4, you get...
Ah, Shantoto, que dire sur Shantoto que je vais sûrement matcher avec Vivi. Je l'adore, je l'adore. Ouais, je connais Shantoto. Oh, il y a juste Uncommon. Pas sûr que Shantoto aimerait ça que ce soit juste Uncommon. Il faudrait qu'elle soit multicrare pour qu'elle apprécie ça, pour que ce soit dans les flavors. Mais Shantoto, sérieusement, quand tu casses un autre créature spell, à grand plus 6 ou 0 jusqu'à la fin du tour. Puis le X, c'est le mana que tu as mis pour un spell. Exemple, je sais pas. Je casse un 30 dynamo qui coûte 4, ben ça va être plus 4 plus 0. Puis si le X est 4 et plus, je peux jouer une 4 en plus. Fait que c'est le fun parce que quand les gens qui jouent Izet, les gens qui jouent genre Burning Spell, des affaires dans ce genre-là, on est très explosif. Qui dit explosif, tu exploses, puis après ça, il n'y a plus rien. Tu as toujours un problème à le maner. Tu finis toujours par... Tu sais, tu as 2 cartes dans ta main, tu as une carte, tu as 3 cartes. Là, il y a quelqu'un qui peut dire dans les commentaires, toujours comme ouais, ben là, non, parce que tu as mal construit ton deck des affaires dans ce genre-là. Effectivement, ton deck, normalement, est optimisé pour pallier à ça, mais il peut arriver que un deck qui sort, ça peut arriver qu'il sorte mal, ou des affaires comme ça, où il y a des gens qui n'ont peut-être pas l'expérience de Magic, qui n'ont pas assez d'expérience. Je trouve que Izet puis Jeskai, c'est des couleurs qui sont difficiles au début à maîtriser, justement à cause de ça. Ben, ça vient pallier à ça automatiquement. Fait que t'as un commander qui est Voltron, puis qui va juste comme attaquer, puis tuer des affaires. Parce qu'on s'entend, vu que tu as plus X plus 0, c'est vraiment sur Shantoto, ben, c'est ça qui est ça, là. Ça donne pas quelqu'un d'autre à donner à elle. Fait que c'est ça. Fait que tu casses des grosses affaires, puis ça va le booster. Puis souvent, moi, quand j'ai des decks comme ça, ben, je cherchais du backup avec des Gilded Lotus, avec des 30 dynamos, des affaires comme ça, pour être capable de caster plus de spells par tour. Puis, tu sais, fait que je vais sortir ça, j'ai pris une carte, des affaires comme ça, sortir des gros spells aussi. Fait qu'elle, elle t'invite à caster des gros spells avec le 4+. C'est pas juste des... Puis aussi avec ça aussi. Fait que c'est fait pour casser des gros spells, puis être dangereuse, puis sortir tes grosses affaires, là. Sortir tes Armageddon, sortir tes... Ben non, Armageddon c'est blanc, là, mais comme... En tout cas, peu importe, là, j'ai la misère à passer, excusez, je suis un peu fatigué, là, mais tu sais... Et là, pour que tu sortes tes gros spells, puis pour faire mal. Fait que c'est intéressant. Puis c'est ça, je pense que j'aime moins dans le Commander, parce que je joue pas CDH. J'aurais la capacité de, mais j'aime pas qu'une game dure 2 ou 3 tours, même 4. J'ai pas l'impression d'avoir joué. Mais tu dis, ben ouais, mais après ça, tu sais, la game dure 3 tours, fait que tu commences et tu joues plus. Ouais, mais non, j'ai pas l'impression d'avoir joué. Puis, qu'est-ce que j'aime voir aussi, c'est voir. Excusez-moi, un téléphone bizarre. Puis qu'est-ce qui est vraiment intéressant aussi, c'est... Oh mon Dieu, j'ai perdu qu'est-ce que je disais. Oui, c'est ça. Moi, qu'est-ce que j'aime dans Commander, c'est que une game prend du temps. J'ai vu... Mes plus belles games que j'ai vues, c'est des games qui sont mid ou longues. Ça permet à certains joueurs de se développer, d'aller chercher, puis de faire tout ce que j'ai fait, ça marche pas, puis t'arrives dans une situation improbable, puis là, t'as un éclair de génie, t'es capable de sortir, de penser, sortir de la merde en faisant une combinaison de synergie que tu pensais pas que c'est possible de faire. C'est ça que j'aime dans Commander. C'est pas les games rapides, c'est les mid-games qui, à partir de la mid-game, là, puis de la long game, tu vas pouvoir vraiment aller chercher le plein potentiel de ton deck et même de le dépasser puis d'aller plus ultra à ce moment-là. Moi, c'est le plus ultra que j'aime. Chose que je trouve pas dans CDH, je trouve. Selon moi.
To draw a card, which is very powerful in the context of limited and potentially even in formats like Commander.
Absolutely amazing. So, from Final Fantasy XI to... Did someone say 1? Final Fantasy 12. We yin, we yang. Here we go. Dylan, give us the story.
Right. So Final Fantasy 12 takes the much beloved world of Ivalice, and there are many adventures, many stories happening here. In the intro, we learned the Arcadian Empire is beginning their conquest on Dalmasca, and we meet our heroes 2 years thereafter. We're introduced to Vaughn, Princess Ashe, and of course, Balthier and Fran. I'd love to show you this card. This is a Commander deck I'm building immediately when this set comes out.
La chose que je dois dire sur Final Fantasy XII, c'est qu'il a été très mal reçu, très mal perçu par son système. Les gens ne l'aimaient pas. J'ai joué... Il était sur DS aussi, je me souviens bien, une affaire comme ça. Moi, j'ai joué un peu, mais je m'en souviens pas vraiment. Puis il me semble que j'avais pas détesté. Je trouvais juste que les gens étaient vraiment comme très sévères avec. Possiblement parce que les FF10, il y a eu quand même beaucoup de critiques que c'était pas vraiment Final Fantasy, c'était plus une histoire. Après ça, avec le 12, ils mettaient quelque chose encore de différent, fait que j'imagine que les fans n'ont pas apprécié. Les 11, il y a eu ses ratés aussi. Donc j'imagine qu'une combinaison de tout ça ensemble a fait que ça n'a pas aidé le 12. Mais je trouve que c'est juste méchant pour le 12, et c'était pas si mauvais que ça. C'est d'affaires sur les véhicules, il y a le Reach, c'est bon. J'imagine à cause de Fran ici. Véhicule que tu contrôles en +1/+1 et à Vigilance and Reach, ok. Dans le vert et rouge. Pour les véhicules, à moins que... Quand un véhicule est crew par Balti et Fran et qui attaque ce tour-ci, il y a First Strike, après ça, tu payes 3, un manalès, un rouge, un vert, puis après ça, donc, on a une phase d'attaque. Fait que c'est vraiment fait pour les véhicules, mais comme rouge et vert, à moins que je me surprenne, il n'y a pas tant de véhicules dans le rouge et vert.
And so, of course, as Sky Pirates, they will care about piloting the straw, going up against, and hopefully winning the game very fast.
Amazing. Now it's time to hear from Stephanie, our art director, once again, to tell us about some very important pieces of art.
So this is a very special story about the incredible Isamu Kamikoku Ryo. The city of Arcades was one of the first images made for Final Fantasy XII. Visually inspiring and dense with details, this piece immerses you in the world of Ivalice. This image was used as a promotional ad in a Japanese magazine to get artists excited to work at Square Enix on Final Fantasy XII. There are many employees who are currently at Square Enix because of this painting, and in turn, Isamu made incredible friendships during his time there. It's no exaggeration to say this painting changed lives. It stands out as an example of Isamu's artistic perspective to push the imagination and craft worlds that have never been seen before.
And what's amazing about that piece of art is there is a link between 12 and the next game in the series, because that same artist had a hand in designing what we're about to show you now.
ライトニングらしさっていうのをもう一回考えた時に、内面にその激しさは秘めているんですけど、外から見ると静かに佇んでるような姿が一番ライトニングらしいのかなっていう。ライトニングって武人なんですよね。侍のような女性なので、普通に立ってても常に剣構えてるんですよ、心の中では。マジック・ザ・ギャザリングとファイナル・ファンタジーのコラボは僕自身もすごく想像してなかったコラボレーションなので、マジかって感じでそこに僕が書かせてもらえるっていうのがすごい光栄だなって思いました。 商品としてのすごい完成度の高さにちょっとびっくりしちゃってよかったなっていうふうに思いますね。頑張って書いてよかったなっていう。
Dylan, tell us a little bit about the game Final Fantasy XIII.
Final Fantasy XIII perhaps is the game that leans most into its science fiction elements as it thrusts us into the artificial world of Cocoon that floats above Grand Pulse. You see, in this world, we have these supernatural entities that are known as the Fall Sea. Though humanity fears them, they seek their protection. And the Fall Sea have the ability to designate Lassi, which are basically prophesized chosen warriors. This game takes a bit of a spin of if that's really a good thing or not. As we all come to find out, Lightning, our protagonist, and her party members have chosen to become these new chosen heroes. And they go on an adventure and a quest to fulfill their focus, which may end up bringing about the end of the world? Don't worry, they are our heroes, though. Let's talk about Lightning and some gameplay from Final Fantasy XIII, Zakil.
Yeah, so Final Fantasy XIII's primary game mechanic is a mechanic called Stagger. This mechanic rewards you for exploiting your enemy's weaknesses, and once you trigger the Stagger gauge, you're...
Ok, so j'y vais et je commence. Premièrement, sur Final Fantasy XIII, c'est un Final Fantasy que j'ai pas fini, que j'ai pas vraiment aimé, que j'ai pas vraiment apprécié. L'histoire, comme il expliqué au début avec les falsies, puis les dieux, tout ça, c'est des entités comme ça. C'est intéressant, puis oui, c'est vrai qu'il y a un twist, c'est le fun. Mais my god, que tout le monde est emo. Puis en plus, c'est très linéaire. Il y a eu un gros marketing sur Lightning, puis Vanilla, puis dans le temps. La musique est comme pop, lounge. En tout cas, peu importe. Ah, je m'en souviens juste. Ça avait vraiment pogné. Puis je pense que je me suis tanné encore une fois que c'était juste comme un corridor. Un autre corridor. Pas beaucoup d'exploration. On m'a dit que ça changeait quand tu étais sur Grand Pulse, tout le kit. Mais là, j'étais encore sur Cocoon quand j'ai arrêté. Je suis vraiment tanné. Je suis vraiment comme. La motivation était plus là. Puis je sais que le jeu a quand même bien marché, puis il a pogné. Ben oui, parce qu'il y en a eu 3. Mais c'était pas pour moi et je dirais quand même pas mal de personnes. Donc, on y va. Donc, Lightning, elle coûte rien, elle coûte juste 3. Couleur Boros avec un générique. Humaine Dieu, c'est quand même une bonne combinaison, puis ça représente bien qu'est-ce qu'elle est aussi dans le jeu. Ce côté lore, c'est parfait. First Strike, Trample, Lifelink, on s'en va vers du Voltron ici. Win ou Aristocrate. Quand Lightning fait du gros dommage en player. Jusqu'à le prochain tour. Efficace. Attendez une minute. Ok. Fait que dans le fond, c'est comme. C'est comme quand elle touche. Comme si elle avait fait du combat de dommage, c'est comme si ça le marquerait. Après ça, c'est n'importe quelle autre source. Attends, juste relire pas de ça. Parce que je suis traduit puis je comprends en même temps dans ma tête, ça marche pas. Je vais le lire, je vais le traduire, puis je vais l'expliquer après. 5 secondes. Ok, c'est bon. Puis dans le fond, Stagger, c'est comme si ça marquerait le personnage. On va marquer le personnage, puis après ça, jusqu'à la fin de mon prochain tour. Jusqu'à mon prochain tour. C'est mettons, bon, il y a 4 players. Je marque le player. Moi, je suis player 1, je marque le player 2. Fait que si le player 3 et 4 font du dommage au player que j'ai marqué, donc au player 2, ou à ses créatures, ou à un permanent, ou peu importe. Non, dans le fond, c'est vraiment un permanent. Que le player 2 contrôle, ça fait double de dommages. Fait que je marque le player 2. Le player 4 fait, je sais pas, 3 dommages à une créature. Le player 2 fait 3 dommages, ça va y en faire 6. Ça faisait 3 dommages au player 2. Ben, ça va y en faire 6 parce que c'est doublé à cause de ça. Fait que c'est intéressant parce que c'est Voltron pis c'est pas Voltron en même temps. Ah, j'aime ça. C'est Voltron pis c'est pas Voltron en même temps. Il y a quoi à faire avec ça? Je pense que c'est un deck le fun à jouer.
able to deal additional damage within combat. So it only felt right for Lightning to have a similar ability called Stagger. So let's take a look. She is a 3-mana 3/2 with the ability Stagger. Whenever she deals combat damage to a player, until your next turn, if a source would deal damage to that player or permanent that player controls, it deals double that damage instead. And then she has these small innocuous kind of buffs, meaning with First Strike and Trample. So if you attack with her and let's just say a 1/1 creature, she has the ability to deal combat damage in the First Strike phase, triggering Stagger, then buffing everything else you have on the battlefield, which is going to be quite good in red-white aggressive strategies.
And it is not often that Magic uses a mechanic for just one single card, but that is what has happened here. Gavin, what have you done?
Yeah, this is something very special. This is something that we had to do a lot of talking and a lot of convincing, and it was such a perfect fit, literally a perfect fit for these two characters, Fang and Vanille. So here we are, Fang and Vanille. Now, if you know the story of Final Fantasy XIII, these two characters are searching for each other.
Ok. Est-ce que c'est Mel? Oui, c'est du Mel. Ok, c'est du Mel, ok. Ouais, ben, si vous avez joué au jeu, vous connaissez qu'est-ce qu'il y a avec ces deux-là. Fait que c'est ça. C'est vraiment cool quand même qu'il ait fait ça. Ok. Tu as une ou plusieurs cartes lutte ton graveyard, tu piges une carte et tu perds un point de vie. Et puis ça trigger juste une fois par tour, c'est bon. Quand elle arrive, tu mets 2 cartes. Tu retournes permanent là-dedans dans tes mains. Au début de ta première phase, de ta première main de phase, ben juste sa première main de phase. Puis si tu contrôles Vanille, puis tu contrôles Fang, tu peux payer ce montant-là ici, puis après ça, ben ça fait nos créatures. On va voir c'est pas bientôt.
And they eventually find each other, and they do that well in the game, right? So when Vanille comes into play, you mill some cards, you get someone back, maybe it's Fang. Fang wants up to leave the graveyard, and then you get to draw cards. But toward the end of the game, you might know that they fuse into Ragnarok. And so the meld ability here actually allows you to turn the cards over and turn them into Ragnarok.
Vigilance, menace, jumper, reach, ace. Ok. Cœur en destroy target permanent, return target non legendary permanent, card from your river to the battlefield. Ok, c'est pas boosté.
They're both uncommon, so you can do this in draft. And let me
c'est pas Gisela ni Tanya, mais
tell you, if you get off Ragnarok, you are going to win. It is a very, very cool moment, and literally the perfect encapsulation of these two characters.
Absolutely amazing. Okay, now we move on to the critically acclaimed MMORPG, Final Fantasy XIV. Personally, I like to think of myself as the weird adopted uncle of Final Fantasy XIV, so thank you. And I'm so happy to be able to talk about that. Listen, Dylan, this is a game that everyone has an opinion about, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I just have 3 words for all of you out there. Hear, feel, think. Iconic words spoken by the Mother Crystal, spoken to all of you warriors of light out there. The critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV is often described as a theme park of Final Fantasy history, and I just absolutely love that comparison. It takes content from all the previous titles, it remixes them, updates them, and it brings them to a modern audience. It introduces you to games, characters, stories from long past, and hopefully inspires you to go try out all of these amazing games yourself. Now in the game, of course, you are the Warrior of Light. You get to customize your character, pick your job, and embark on a journey where you call the shots. So whether you are going up against the Ascian threat, perhaps, championing Hydaelyn's will, facing off the Garlean Empire, battling through the Dragonsong War, maybe going up against the bloodthirsty Xenos, or becoming the Warrior of Darkness, crying many, many tears at the end of creation, and most recently, enjoying a summer vacation. You are the Warrior of Light, and this is Final Fantasy XIV. You are all emblematic of the very wonderful community that Final Fantasy XIV is known for. Wonderful, friendly, kind, empathetic, and we thank you so much for being here and being a part of this wonderful, wonderful weekend. I can just personally attest to how amazing this game is and how profound it has been on all of us.
Daniel, this is obviously the last of the Commander deck, so I imagine you had to play a little bit of Final Fantasy XIV, didn't you?
Exactly. Unlike Dylan, and sounds like a lot of you, when I was first assigned this project, I had never actually played Final Fantasy XIV. So naturally, over the next month, I put 200 hours in with my best friend from work. Getting all the way to Shadowbringers, I played Dancer and Black Mage, for those curious. And...
Ok, j'en ai aucune idée c'est quoi FF14, j'ai jamais joué. J'ai joué un jour, promis, mais je sais pas c'est quoi. Fait que je sais pas d'où vient les cartes, je connais pas le lore, le flavor, tout le kit. Le dernier que j'ai joué, comme j'ai dit, c'était le 13, mais c'est ça. Ok, qu'est-ce qu'il a fait 4 contrôles en plus comme ça? Ok, c'est cool, parce qu'il coûte pas d'or en plus. Mandeville, oh, c'est cool, tout le casser d'une aventure. Ok. Next turn, fait que dépendamment quand il meurt, tu peux soit le recaster à ton corps, puis il va toujours revenir, ou encore... alright. Create a 2/2 Black Zombie token. Alright.
We had to get Hildebrand Manderville into the set. It was so important to be genuine to the fans because you can play the entire campaign of Final Fantasy XIV and not even see this lovable character. This card itself refers to his first chapter, The Rise and Fall of Gentlemen, where there are plenty of zombies, and Hildebrand is not dead after all. You can find Hildebrand and all the other scions in the Final Fantasy XIV Commander deck, led by none other than Y'shtola herself. Yeah. Where, as you cast your non-creature spell...
Ok, je tiens à dire quelque chose. Magali Villeneuve est écœurante, son artiste préféré. Est-ce qui est bonne à dessiner, c'est incroyable. L'art, c'est subjectif, vous avez sûrement vous autres aussi vos artistes préférés, mais moi, c'est elle, puis Magali Villeneuve, vraiment, est incroyable. Est incroyable. Puis vite comme ça, couleur Esper, plus un Manaless, plus un Colorless. Vigilance, alright. Fait qu'elle reste là, puis elle fait rien, pas nécessairement bouger d'attaquer. Puis je pense que c'est pas la créature à laquelle que tu vas attaquer, elle va juste commander qui va rester là, qui va jouer son rôle. À la fin de chaque end step, s'il y a un player qui a perdu 4 vies ou plus, tu peux jouer une carte. Et c'est fort. C'est vraiment, 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 vraiment fort. 4 Warlock. Fait que tu fais rien, puis le genre s'entre dessus, tu peux jouer des cartes. Quand tu casses un non-creature spell de 3 ou plus, elle fait 2 dommages à tous les opponents et tu gagnes 2 rêves. Fait que tu piges des cartes, tu gagnes la vie, c'est tax value, tu te perds autour de ça, puis en plus, c'est tellement les bonnes couleurs pour ça. Oh my god. Tu sais, honnêtement, là, elle aurait pu être juste Orzhov, ça aurait marché, puis ils ont mis Clay Tesper. Ça sera pas beau tantôt. Ça sera vraiment pas beau tantôt. Aïe aïe aïe, belle carte, belle carte.
Spells with mana value 3 or greater, you're going to drain the table, draw cards, and continue controlling the game as long as you manage those cooldowns. Enjoy the deck, please.
Amazing. And whilst Y'shtola's right here, I think it's a great time to touch base with another of our celebrity artists talking about their specific version of Y'shtola.
自分がギャザリングの絵を描けるのっていうのがちょっとびっくりしまして、まあ、今回その両方のプレイヤーの橋渡しになればいいんじゃないかなと思っています。僕割とその油彩風というか厚塗りっていう絵法で絵を描くことが多かったんですけど、やっぱりそれってギャザリングとかからかなりインスパイアを受けていました。これはテイストとしてはそのファイナルファンタジーのその14のエフェクトの綺麗さとかちょっと目指してデザインさせていただきました。ヤシュトラは強い意志を持ったキャラクターなので、そこら辺が再現できるようにしたかったっていうところがあって、ちょっと人知を超えたような雰囲気を出せればいいかなっていうところで、少し凛々しい感じの雰囲気にしました。はい。
Obviously, There are loads of cards still to show you, Zakil. Let's start with that sweet version of Ishtola.
Yes, so here is main set Ishtola Ruel. She's a 6-mana 3/5 cat druid that has the ability at the beginning of your end step, blink a creature, and then if it is the first end step, you effectively take an additional end step. So you're able to gain advantage with creatures on the battlefield that have entered the battlefield triggers by blinking them, and then, just like the last Ishtola card that we showed at the face of the commander deck, also manipulate and use end step triggers to your advantage. So playing the main set Ishtola within the commander deck Ishtola deck is probably quite good. And one of my favorite things about Final Fantasy 14 are the summons.
Yeah, so let's talk about one.
Ok. Ça, c'est. Ok, ça donne 2 steps, elle coûte 6, puis tu peux blink. Si pas dans une carte de blink, elle coûte quand même 6, c'est quand même beaucoup.
Battlefield triggers by blinking them, and then, just like the last Ishtola card that we showed at
Je vais avancer ici, parfait.
Perhaps block, buy a little bit of time. You still have to contend with the third chapter, where Odin's owner will draw 2 cards and make each player lose 2 life. Perhaps they'll even draw another Odin.
Ok. Premier, tu détruis une créature de ton opponent, c'est correct. Deuxième, Zante Scuticana. 10 créatures, gain whenever discuter, did commandement chapitre. D'après le stock. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ok, mais c'est très flavor, c'est très Odin, c'est correct. 3, puis je te 2 cartes. Oh my god, c'est un 5-3. Encore une fois, je sais pas trop comment ça marche, les sagas de créatures.
Now, earlier I mentioned that there would be some job select equipment from Final Fantasy 14. So where are all my summoners at?
Yeah!
Perfect. Well, here is the Summoner's Grimoire, another job select equipment. So when this comes into play, you make a...
Ok. Quand ça arrive en jeu, si la créature est un chaman, en plus de son autre type, as whenever this... Non, équipe créature est un chaman. Ok, tu deviens un chaman quand tu équipes ça. Si tu attaques, quand la créature attaque, tu peux prendre une carte de ta main et la mettre sur le battlefield. Puis si la carte est un enchantement, elle rentre tap et attacking. Ok, c'est correct. Fait qu'elle attaque automatiquement quand c'est un enchantement. Ok. Abraxas. Ça coûte 4. L'équipé, ça coûte 3. Ouais. Il y a sûrement du peu pour ça quelque part.
a 1/1 hero and attach it to it. Now, whenever that creature attacks, you get to put a creature from your hand on the battlefield. So it's like a little elvish piper for your longtime Magic fans. But if it is an enchantment card, it enters tapped and attacking. So that enchantment creature like Odin will come in right away. One other tiny thing I want to call out is in front of the equip ability, you'll see what it says there, Abraxas. Well, that is actually the weapon that is shown in the art there. Just a little nod to the different weapons that are used. The Final Fantasy 14 team thought it'd be really cool to actually reference the weapons that are in the art for the 14 tied job select equipment. So you'll find that on the equipment in the set.
Much of the major narrative of Final Fantasy 14 is the metaphysical conflict between Hydaelyn and Zodiark. So today...
Puis pourquoi je fais le oh, c'est simple. Quand tu vois autant de mana noire comme ça, c'est que la carte va kicker des culs.
Today we're going to show you one half of that conflict with Zodiark Umbral God. He is a 5/5 with Indestructible God, and when he enters, each player sacrifices half the non-god creatures they control, rounded down. Now that's an interesting story element. If you're a Final Fantasy 14 player, you'll have to tell me if you think that is spot on to the story that Zodiark might be involved in.
Chaque créature en jeu, je peux sacrifier la moitié des nombres de créatures. Run up. Puis quand un peut sacrifier une autre créature, il gagne +1/+1. Alright, il était destructible, ça a l'air d'être le big boss de la fin. Ok, mais ça c'est correct, c'est un big boss, une carte de la fin. J'aime ça. Je l'aime, puis... Je sais pas si je ferais juste un commander basé là-dessus, je l'appellerais pas dans un pas sûr que je suis un commander basé juste là-dessus. Je le mettrais dans un de mes decks, qui serait mono noir. Probablement un deck sacrifice que j'ai. Mais ouais, ça fesse.
And here we can see the moment where I wiped every raid I was ever in doing this trial. I could not for the life of me remember this mechanic. I'm so sorry to everyone who was playing me. I was your Gunbreaker main tank, not using my cooldowns correctly.
I know there are people in the audience that are thinking, oh, there's one person from Final Fantasy XIV I'd love to see. Here he is, you thirsty people.
So, I mentioned before that you might find villains in the commander deck. Well, here's one every Final Fantasy XIV player knows. It's Emmett Selk. Now, the villains in the decks play on a little different axis. Emmett here will cast spells from your graveyard over time because Ascians know their history.
Ok, spell de ton graveyard coûte 2 moins, c'est correct. Chant, en plus, ton opponent pad alive. Tu peux caster un target instant sorcery de ton graveyard. Puis ici, ça devrait être. Si à la fin d'avoir casté, le spell devrait être mis dans ton graveyard, tu peux l'exiler à la place.
But they will still trigger all of the non-creature matters cards in your deck.
Okay, here we go. 14's done. We're now moving on to 15. We are going like a rocket ship. It's again another great example of the way in which Final Fantasy has reinvented itself over the years. Dylan, what's the story?
So in Final Fantasy XV, we see this dramatic tale of epic war, political conspiracies, ancient magic, opposing kings, but ultimately it puts the story of friendship and camaraderie center stage. We follow Prince Noctis and his very best of friends, Ignis, Prompto, and Gladiolus, on a road trip across the modern fantasy world of Eos. And embroiled in this conflict, we are going to go up against many cool monsters, cinematic boss battles, epic duels, but one of the biggest things that Final Fantasy XV left on me was just the very sense of time and pace. The slow, quiet moments you spend with your friends, pulling pranks at each other, making food at camp, discovering new recipes, listening to music while you're driving around. It does remind me a little bit of the four of us and how we kind of made this set. So I kind of have a soft spot for this. Excuse me if I start crying.
I'm also there as well. Thanks, guys. Okay, let's look at some cards, please. Zakiel, take us through it.
Yeah, so Noctis is the main character from Final Fantasy XV,
Yes.
and his most unique mechanical ability is called Armiger, which allows him to wield the 13 royal weapons that come from his lineage that are depicted in his artwork. So his ability allows you to cast artifact spells from the graveyard as a...
Ok, fait que Lifelink, c'est Voltron. Couleur Esper, humain noble. Oh. Mais juste humain. Fait que. Aristocrate. Tu peux payer un artifact spell de ton graveyard, d'en payer en 3 lives, plus les autres coups. En mana. Oh, puis si par contre tu castes ça, il vient avec Affinity Counter. Fait que bon, c'est pas compliqué. T'as un Sword of Feast and Famine qui coûte 3. Elle se fait détruire. Tu veux le ramener, tu payes 3 lives. Tu payes 103 Colorless. Puis à la Affinity Counter, puis elle se refaire péter, elle disparaît à jamais. Non, elle disparaît pas à jamais, mais est exilée.
nod to the Armiger ability. And also, take a look at this beautiful borderless artwork.
Let's look at Arden.
But of course, opposed to Noctis is the game's antagonist, Arden. And here we see celebrity artist Roberto Ferrari has captured.
Ok, à 2 Human Noble, alright. Il coûte 8. Ok, j'ai hâte de voir ça. Demon control have menace, lifelink and haste. Ooh. At the beginning of combat of your turn, exile up to 1 target creature from a graveyard. If you exile a card with this way, create a token that's a copy of the card. Ok, bon ben, c'est pas compliqué. Au début de ton combat, t'exiles une carte de ton graveyard, une créature, pardon. Admettons, je sais pas, c'est un bird of Paradise qui est 0-1, ça se peut pas parce que, à ce que peu importe, on va dire que c'est un bird of Paradise. C'est un 0-1. Par exemple, puis la carte devient exilée. Tu crées une copie de cette carte-là. C'est juste que ça devient à la place un 5-5 Black Demon. Mais tu gardes quand même l'habilité du bird of Paradise, qui t'en démonte après quand même pour. Tu tapes, ça donnerait quand même un mana de pas sorte de couleur.
mastered his signature grin and his powers over the Star Scourge. And we actually see that we use that as a flavor word because while you have art in play, you too.
Je retire ce que j'ai dit pour l'habilité, je suis pas sûr, j'ai un doute. J'ai un doute.
Will be making your own army of demons to take over the world.
Okay, that's Final Fantasy 15 done. We're finally here, guys.
Je pense juste que dans le fond, ça. Tu fais la copie, c'est un démon, mais je suis pas sûr que nécessairement t'as l'habilité. C'est juste ça, comme de taper pis tout. J'ai un doute, j'ai un doute. C'est plus juste une machine à créer des démons, tout simplement.
Final Fantasy 16 has arrived. I don't remember any of it. Dylan, what happened?
So, just to catch you up to speed, Ben, I don't know if you've heard of this game, but this takes place at Valisthea. It is the latest entry in the mainline Final Fantasy series, and it is one of the most dark and mature titles the franchise has seen thus far. It tells this gritty and grim tale of magic and explores the notions of free will. We are introduced to our protagonist, Clive Rossfields, when he is but a young boy. And we watch him grow over decades of in-game story as he turns into the epic hero who shall deny fate itself. And as we all know in this game, the summons are of paramount importance because Clive is someone known as a dominant, that who harbors the ability of the summons, the icons inside of them. And in the game, our heroes turn directly into their summons. I wonder if that sparked any good design ideas?
Well, it certainly did. And this is actually quite an interesting story because, well, we've been working on the set for 4 years. We said that earlier. Well, as we all know, this game came out 2 years ago. So it came out during the development process of the set. So we actually had a weekend when the game came out, and we just all started playing and trying to figure out, okay, what could go in, what could go in? This card, this card, this card. It was a great time.
Massive call out. Zakiel was always 2 hours ahead of me and Daniel, and we were like nonstop playing. My wife is here; she can confirm I was not sleeping at all. And somehow he was always ahead of me. I have no idea how you were just so. It was a wild weekend. Our group chat exploded with like 1,000 messages every single night. Like, this is an awesome concept. This could be a card.
You have to get this character in there, right?
I totally missed that quest. I have to go do it. So.
Okay, guys, be quiet. I want to talk now. Okay. God, we get it. You played the game. I was in it.
Yeah.
Listen, I think it's time that we previewed some cards, and I know what you all want to see. But first, let's see a character that is incredibly important to Clive in this story.
Yeah, so this is Jill, Shiva's dominant.
Okay.
This card shows off all of her icy powers. So on Jill's side, she comes in and unsummons a creature. Then when she transforms into Shiva, she will make one of your creatures unblockable twice.
Oh, yes. Yes. J'en ai besoin pour mes decks. Tap Island, open and control. That's like. Ok, click on enter. I want to get more than permanent ou withdraw. Ok, c'est cool. C'est quand même cool. J'aurais peut-être aimé, vu que c'est Shiva des Stun Counter ou quelque chose comme ça. Mais c'est quand même pas si pire. Elle arrive, tu retournes un no-land permanent dans la main de l'autre. Tu payes ça, puis là, tu la transformes en Shiva. Puis là, peut pas bloquer. Tu fais juste comme tac. Tu sais que c'est bon dans le bleu. Ouais, c'est legit. Elle coûte pas cher. Quelque chose que je vois. Ouais.
Then she will tap all of your opponent's lands. They cannot stop you. And then unlike other summons that go away, she goes back to Jill, re-triggering that Enter's ability to unsummon and continue using those icy powers.
Okay, now this is the moment you're all waiting for. This is the moment that I've been waiting for 2 hours. You want to see the Clive card? I have been sweating under that thing for 2 hours for this exact moment. Let's see it on the screen.
So here we have. To be clear, that is the correct reaction. Yes. So here we have Clive and Ifrit. We knew we needed an.
Ok, Clive, je sais pas c'est qui, c'est le Ifrit Dominant. Avec un guest qui change en Ifrit comme l'autre se change en Shiva. Écoute 6, il est quand même. Human Warrior, j'aime la combinaison des deux. Fantasy, du Discard, du Hand, Tender de la catégorie, your devotion to red. Ouh, sexy. Fait que minimalement 2. Tu fais 6, transforme. 1. Ashford, fight up to 1. Ok, fait, ça veut dire que techniquement, la façon que c'est écrit que Ashford fight une autre créature, t'es un summon. Où-ce que la saga est là? T'es un summon. 2 et 3 à 4. S'il y a 3 au plus de counter dessus, exilite, puis tu y retournes. Puis tu retournes comme en Clive. Ok. Ok. Fait que dans le fond, cette vidéo-là, dans la moquette, peut le faire 2 fois, il retourne en lui. Puis dans le fond, tu peux garder ton mana dans ta mana pool, puis là, t'es rendu au 3, puis le transformer tout de suite. Puis juste faire tac-tac comme une espèce de chaîne en quelques tours. En 2 tours. Parce que 3, je le garde. Puis après ça, il retourne dans ça. Je paye 2. Tape. Il retourne avec 1 ici. Il fait une créature en 9-9. Ok. Ok. Fait que pendant que t'es là, toi, t'es là aussi en semaine. Ok, c'est comme ça qu'on a réussi à le faire. Je comprends.
Epic card, and so that's exactly what we made. On the front side, Clive, of course, has Devotion to Red. Of course, it is the only Devotion card in the main set, but it fits his character so well. Who else would be so devoted to Red as Ifrit's Dominant? Then, when you're ready, perhaps the turn after you play him, you can pay 6 mana, flip him over, he fights a creature right away. Bam! Ifrit shows up. Time for that epic boss battle. Then, you get some mana the next turn. A turn after that, he flips back to Clive, if your opponent's even still alive by then, and you get to do the whole discard your hand and drop again before preparing to turn him back into a Ifrit. So, you know, pretty powerful combination of abilities here. Wouldn't you say, Ben?
I would say he's very cool. I would say he's the best one. You know, don't take my word for it. Okay, guys, that's it. We have done 16 mainline games, but I know, are you excited for this? Zakil, when can we get our hands on all this Final Fantasy goodness?
Yeah, so Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy releases globally on June 13th with pre-releases starting on June 6th. Now, if you're a Final Fantasy fan who has never played Magic before, I suggest you start with the starter kit, which comes with 2 60-card decks that are pre-constructed, along with a learn-to-play booklet and digital download codes to play on Magic Arena. We also have our play booster, which includes all of the cards that we previewed today, everything that is standard legal, as well as the Final Fantasy Through the Ages bonus sheet. Now, the additional products that we have here, as Daniel mentioned, are the 4 commander decks that are focused on individual games, 6, 7, 10, and 14. You can relive these games if you played them before, or learn about them if you never have. They're some of our favorites, and we think that they're such an amazing product. We also have our collector SKUs in the collector commander decks, which are the same mechanical identity of those commander decks, just available in 100% foil, as well as our collector boosters, which include all of the mechanical cards from the main set, many from the commander decks, and the awesome, amazing treatments such as the golden chocobo. Here's our complete product suite, including the beautiful gift bundle featuring Ifrit and Bahamut from Final Fantasy XVI. And again, this set releases globally on June 13th with a variety of play events, starting then, running through the remainder of that month, and MagicCon Vegas, along with Pro Tour Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy on the weekend of June 20th.
All right. All right.
And of course, if you're a digital gamer, Final Fantasy is also coming to Magic the Gathering Arena with 3 different bundles you can pick up. The first, of course, is the pack bundle. You might be wondering, Gavin, why is it called the pack bundle? Well, great news. It comes with 50 booster packs, 5 golden packs. You get this cool VV sleeve, the VV version, all kinds of awesome stuff going on there. Let's go on to the next bundle called the Pass Bundle. You might be wondering, why is this called the Pass Bundle? Well, this comes with Clive, comes with Noctis, comes with full sleeves for both of them, and you get access to the Mastery Pass. Now, the Mastery Pass will let you unlock those awesome chocobos for Jason Tronder we saw earlier. You get a regular chocobo at level 1, a Jace chocobo at level 25, and the Tronder chocobo at level 50. And then finally, we've got the Play Bundle. You can imagine why it's called that. You get tons of tokens to go play in drafts. Plus, you get Kefka, Terra, some accoutrement for them, and my personal favorite, the Moogle companion that can hang out with you in a game, and who doesn't want a Moogle hanging out with them? You can go pre-order that on Magic the Gathering Arena right now.
Amazing. So moving on. Let's get you even more hyped than you are already with this amazing trailer.
Okay.
I've been waiting for this. I'm ready as I'll ever be. Final Fantasy
Oh, le cactus!
to Magic the Gathering.
Oh my god, c'est n'importe quoi.
Come to me, Ifrit! Draw swords. Cast spells. Play heroes and villains from all 16 core games.
People are depending on me.
Years I've waited for this chance. It's time to shape your story. Shall we?
You know what? I think there's still some people who might be on the fence about tucking into this, right? If there are, let's see if Stephanie can persuade those who might not want to get involved.
All right, folks. When you think of the essential ingredients of what makes Final Fantasy, what comes to mind? You've got your classics, your chocobos, summons, crystals. We're fans, we know all this. But there's one more thing that has been in nearly every game of the Final Fantasy series that we haven't quite talked about yet.
Les Cid. Or
should I say someone?
Cid!
It's Cid!
Oui!
Better yet, Cids. Because why settle for just one?
Okay, folks, this is how we're going to do it. Remember when I split the room up in two? That went well, didn't it? We're doing it again. Okay, this side of the room, I'm going to say a number. This side of the room, we're going to shout one word and one word only. And what word's that going to be? You know it. We're going to start with 2, okay?
Oh my god. Oh my god. C'est la même habilité. Artefact créature, animals, je contrôle le plus push artificial, you control each. Oh my god, cycling. Ah, c'est cool, mais quand même bonne. Ok, fait comme ça, plus simple pour tous les artificers. Artefact, créature, animals, du contrôle, get. Oh mon dieu. Je vais faire un deck de ça. Je pense que c'est pas mal fini après ça. Ok. Je vais arrêter là-dessus comme ça, on va pouvoir parler. Écoutez, merci, c'est terminé, c'est fini. Jusqu'à date, c'était le fun de voir les cartes comme ça, mais je suis pas hype. Je ne suis pas hype, il n'y a pas des cartes qui m'ont fait wow ou quelque chose. J'étais vraiment, mais vraiment plus hype avec Dragon of Tarkir. Pas Dragon of Tarkir, mais Tarkir Dragonstorm. C'était... Tarkir Dragonstorm, là, pour moi, c'est un 10 sur 10. Ça, tu joues beaucoup sur la nostalgie. Mais quand tu sors de la nostalgie, parce que je sépare mon cœur et ma logique, parce que je veux pas tomber dans le piège de payer 900$ pour une petite collector booster. Je vais pas payer ça. Je veux pas, ça vaut... En ce moment, j'ai pas vu que ça vaut ça. C'est le début, il y a peut-être d'autres choses qui vont venir. Chase des séries à l'aise, déjà, c'est compliqué. Ben, c'est pas compliqué, c'est de la loto, hein. Puis là, en plus, on a 77 chocobos. Ça veut dire qu'on va l'avoir vraiment cher, mais en même temps, il faut que tu la pognes parce qu'il y en a moins. En ce moment, le set pogne tellement fort que ça va être dilué, tu sais, c'est comme... Bravo à la personne qui va avoir pogné la carte, qui va rentabiliser son achat. Mais, puis encore son achat. Je veux dire, la dernière fois, j'ai payé 3 barres de collecteur de Tarkir, puis j'ai même pas pogné... j'ai même pas pogné comme de céréales. Il y a rien... C'est pas parce que tu achètes 10 boîtes que tu vas en pogner nécessairement aussi, là. Fait que 10 boîtes à 800, ça fait 900, ça fait 8000, 9000. Sinon, à part de ça, c'est un peu long, je suis un peu fatigué, j'ai mal à la gorge, même si je buvais un peu. J'ai quand même une expérience, mais le mini-jeu au début, en plein milieu, il était vraiment inutile, puis ça avait vraiment rien. L'animateur était salty as fuck. Sorry pour mon langage, là, mais c'était vraiment désagréable. Je sais pas, il capotait, il aimait pas ça, ça se passait pas comme il voulait, puis plutôt que prendre ça comme une grande personne, puis bon, puis de transformer les ratés en force ou en succès, il était juste pissed off, puis c'est plate pour l'expérience. J'espère qu'ils n'auront plus jamais ce gars-là, parce que c'est vraiment poche. Sinon, je dis pas que c'est un mauvais set, c'est un bon set, mais jusqu'à date, c'est un set régulier. Un peu comme je suis tombé dans la hype de Fallout. Il y avait pas... Fallout valait pas vraiment tout cet argent-là, tout cet investissement-là, pour qu'est-ce que c'était. Mais je pense que les gens vont avoir du fun avec jusqu'à présent, jusqu'à date. Donc, c'est ça. C'est ça. Fait que, sinon, en général, c'est quand même des bonnes cartes. Les gens vont avoir du fun et du plaisir. Mais ça vaut pas ce prix-là. Achetez-vous une box. Mais je pense pas que jusqu'à date, à moins qu'on voit d'autres cartes durant la prochaine semaine, là, d'autres cartes qui valent vraiment la peine. Je vais refaire un review là-dessus de toute façon là, quand on va être proche du 6 juin. Parce que c'est le 6 en pre-release que ça sort. Peut-être quelques jours avant pour voir si ça vaut la peine ou pas, puis que mon hot take là-dessus, puis les cartes qui valent la peine. Mais présentement, je suis désolé, ça vaut pas ça. Fait que montrez-moi en plus, s'il vous plaît. Donc, tout le monde, ben merci beaucoup d'avoir passé ce temps-là avec moi. C'était vraiment le fun. Par moment. Puis, ça sera recommencé avec d'autres choses. Donc, merci. Un petit pouce bleu, c'est toujours le bienvenu. Un petit follow, c'est toujours le bienvenu aussi. Vous pouvez marquer les commentaires. Vous pouvez dire que j'ai totalement dans le tort, que j'ai totalement raison. Vous avez une autre opinion. Ça me dérange pas. Tant que ça reste poli dans les commentaires, il n'y a aucun problème. Donc, merci. Au revoir. À la prochaine. Bye bye.